All right, we'll be on in a moment. The minute we can find out if we can get a decent audio check. So bear with me as we go into what is not a good day. But let me know. I think this says Puffy's mom. You guys got good audio? RGB, let me know if you got good audio. And give me a moment to get the next stream up. But Iran has taken two more American lives. So we're going to be talking about this. Thank you, RGB, for the audio check. Thank you. So give me about a minute and we should be up momentarily and we can get the show on the road. So bear with me. Uh, so to make sure I don't miss any of the right hashtags to make the show work. And yes, I see you folks are letting me know the audio is good. So I'll go ahead and start up all the other platforms while I'm putting in these final hashtags, and we should be able to get going momentarily here. So put the location in and get notified when starting the next step. Okay, we'll do that. We'll figure that out. Okay, so I think we're good. What the fuck? I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that. Oh shit. They don't threw up some kind of way where you can bring up a whole bunch of guests, and that is not what I was trying to do. So I'm gonna have to end up starting over on TikTok. Don't know how that happened. It changed my entire live stream. So bear with me as I drop TikTok and restart it because that is not what I was trying to do. Oh wow, that was crazy. Okay, let me just. Good evening to you folks that are watching. We're almost done. Give me a minute. I had a glitch in the system. TikTok, we only take one guest at a time. We don't like to have a whole crowded program. And TikTok brought it up with this huge group of boxes that we're not trying to do that. We only want to bring up one guest at a time. There we go. Okay, it's still doing it. I don't know why that happened. I guess we'll just let it run its course, and maybe we can have someone who knows how this works in time help me out in understanding how to get, because this is not what we want. But unfortunately, because of the way TikTok is doing this shit, we got a screen full of invites and guests. This is not what we're trying to do. So I'm just trying to see if there's a way I can change how it's designed, and I do not see that. So we'll go ahead and start the show, and hopefully we can figure it out. Maybe somebody can come through and help us out. But the way we're being televised on TikTok now is not the way we're used to doing it, where we got a big screen. Anyway, good evening, folks. Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. And like I said, hopefully some folks on TikTok can help me straighten out my screen there because I don't want it to look the way it's looking. But got some news that's not the best. This is certainly not good news, but we'll certainly end up discussing it. As you can see, the whole live stream is titled, we've lost 2 additional service personnel in Iran. The country that, we've been boasting that we could do anything we wanted to Iran, and there's nothing they could do to stop us. And, Trump has been bragging about our I don't want to say, I guess he's been bragging about how much power and control, our dominance, that's the word I'm looking for. President Trump has been bragging about our dominance over Iran since this whole skirmish broke out in late February of this year. Here we are, mid-July. We're in the middle of July, and I'm going to tell you from my own personal standpoint, I don't see this looking like it's coming to a conclusion. despite President Trump originally saying this would be over with in, what was it, 2 to 4 weeks or something like that. He gave this a very, very short period of time that this would come to a conclusion. And obviously, that has not came anywhere near coming true. It's not even going to be over within 2 to 4 months. He said 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm hoping, and I'm assuming all of you are, that we are not involved in a forever war. That's what we all will be hoping, that that's not what's taking place. But this does seem to be going on a lot longer than Trump said, with a lot less U.S. control than Trump has portrayed. I think, regardless of what you feel about our need to go into Iran, whether you feel it was necessary to stop them from developing atomic weapons or you felt it was unnecessary, regardless of how you feel about us going into Iran, I think we all can agree one thing for certain is that Trump has portrayed this whole event in a significantly more positive manner than it's actually going. Every time you hear Trump speak about what's going on over there, it sounds like we're dominating, we're winning, we're kicking ass. But yet it keeps going on and on and on. So clearly what we're being told over in this country by our own leadership is propaganda, something we normally accuse other countries of doing. You know, we would accuse Vladimir Putin of feeding his Russian citizens propaganda in regards to the Ukraine. That's something we normally accuse others of doing. But it's fairly clear that our government has not been completely forthcoming on what's going on in Iran, because the messages they're giving us, the predictions they're giving us, are not even coming close to coming true. So he's just being incredibly optimistic and often inaccurate. So I'm going to play a quick clip, but then I'm going to ask you what could amount to a tough question. And I know some of you folks are not going to like me asking this.
We've got some breaking news to get to right now out of the Middle East. Some new news from CENTCOM here. We've got Lucas Tomlinson, who is live in Tel Aviv for us. Lucas, what are you hearing?
Aisha, we've just learned from the U.S. military central command in charge of all U.S. forces in the Middle East that 2 American service members have been killed and 1 is still missing after an Iranian missile attack on a base in Jordan. Additionally, we've learned that 4 American service members were wounded. They were transferred to Jordanian hospitals and have since been discharged. This all coming last night after at least 2 intermediate range ballistic missiles fired from Iran hit a base in Jordan not long after U.S. Air Force personnel had arrived, part of President Trump's reinforcements, an F-16 squadron, as well as an F-35 squadron. Of course, U.S. Air Force personnel are deployed throughout the Middle East. We've been heavily focused on the 2 U.S. Navy aircraft carrier strike groups that are in the...
Now, let's be clear. There's not much Trump can really do on this, other than threatening to keep killing them. I mean, we've been bombing them for 8 or 9 days straight now. So, and we've moved beyond just hitting military targets to hitting bridges and desalination plants and in Iranian infrastructure. So at some point, I suppose we would have to expect Iran is going to get lucky and hit some of our guys. Now, Trump escalated by going after non-military targets. And that has led Iran to escalate by going after surrounding countries that we are using to aid us in the conflict. We're make no mistake about it. A lot of folks are arguing that Iran is wrong for attacking all these other countries when we're only at war, when they're only at war with America. That's not accurate. I've been using the example from day one that if some country attacked America and they were launching attacks from Cuba, Bermuda, some other country that is near America was allowing our enemy rather, some other nation, Bahamas, you name it, some nation that is near America was allowing our enemy to launch attacks from their soil, we would attack that country too. So if the Russians are all of a sudden being allowed to use Cuban air bases to launch attacks throughout Florida, we're going to start attacking Cuba in addition to Russia. That's what Iran is doing. That's exactly what Iran is doing. I mean, these areas are where the attacks are coming from. We're not attacking Iran by taking off from the east coast of the U.S. We're attacking them from these cities they're hitting now. So it makes sense for Iran to look. If some aircraft flies over Iran and drops a bomb, when it's done with its mission, it's either going to land on a carrier at sea or it's going to land in one of these countries. It's not coming back to America. It's landing over at one of these countries, getting refueled, rearmed, and coming back again. So it makes military sense to go after these particular areas, and that's what's happening. Real quick in the comments, for my folks on TikTok, understand I don't have any idea why TikTok came up in this format. I don't intend to take multiple callers. I don't know how to change this. I don't know how it happened, but I prefer to run TikTok the way we always have. So this is not intentional. Somehow, some way, it did something to change the format. So that's why you see it with all of these invites and all of this shit. We don't have any intention of doing this. So we're going to run the program as normal, single guest, the same way we run it all the time. We're not going to bring up 8-10 guests at a time. That's not the plan. So, and I don't know how the settings, even somebody's saying fix the settings. I don't know where to go in the settings to fix it because I don't know how it got changed to begin with. I have no clue how this even happened. So somebody let me know in the settings and we'll see what we can do. What I see in the comments, somebody said, I like it better with your mug smaller. All right, well, fair enough. We got one dissenting opinion. So what I want to ask you guys after you heard this clip is a tough question. These two American service personnel that just perished. Do you see, what is it, 16 now? I think it's about 16 we've lost to Iran. Do you feel like that is blood on Trump's hands? Do you feel like their deaths is the responsibility and the fault of President Trump? Yes or no in the comments. Just yes or no. Do you feel that is blood on the hands of our current commander-in-chief? It's a tough question. I get it. And I'm going to tell you why I'm asking that question. Has a lot to do with words from President Trump himself. I'll give you a quick clip and I'll explain why.
Voters are going to fire Kamala and Joe on November 5th, we hope. And when I take office, we'll ask for the resignations of every single official. We'll get the resignations of every single senior official who touched the Afghanistan calamity to be on my desk at noon on Inauguration Day. You know, you have to fire people. You have to fire people when they do a bad job. We never fire anybody. But I'm proud to be the first president in decades who started no new wars. And the reason I started no new wars is they respected the people in this room.
And the reason I'm playing this is because remember the 13 service personnel that lost their lives leaving Afghanistan under the Biden administration? Trump said their blood was on the hands of Biden. Just point that out. I'm going to assume that Biden had no say-so in the planning of how they left Afghanistan at all. But not only did he blame Biden, he blamed Kamala Harris for it too. He blamed Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, for the death of those service personnel. So it's going to lead to that question. If they were responsible for those 13 dead leaving Afghanistan, how does Trump get to be absolved of responsibility for the 16 dead we now have in Iran? Hopefully I can get somebody up. Perhaps some MAGA can come up and explain it and clear it up for me. But I would certainly like to know that. If we're going to blame the presidents for deaths of American soldiers, how is one getting blamed and the other not? I've had a lot of conversations on blaming Biden for the 13 soldiers that lost their lives in the botched Afghanistan evacuation. I believe also Benghazi, where we lost Ambassador Stevens and 3 other folks with him. That was blamed on Obama going into the 2012 election. It didn't succeed in preventing Obama from getting elected in 2012. And then when Hillary Clinton ran in 2016, they started blaming her for it as well. So Benghazi was put on both Obama and Hillary Clinton. Those deaths were put on both of them. So we got to figure out why the buck stops at Trump and how he would be absolved of blame when he himself has personally blamed other leaders for the deaths of other soldiers. So I do want to hear from you folks on that. And I do see in the comments, if I can put on my spectacles, if I can even get them out, Democrats for Trump says can't blame him for them not following the deal. Well, Iran not following the deal didn't lead to war. The claim is they were not following the deal when Obama made a deal with them. And yet nobody was dying after the Obama deal with Iran. So this has been escalated to people getting killed. That didn't happen under the Obama deal, even if you think the Obama deal was garbage. People are getting killed now, not then. So something changed. Someone is responsible for that. In the comments, and for, like I said, real quick before I start taking callers, and tap the screen, get us up to 10,000 if you will. Anybody know how to get TikTok back the way it is? Somebody let me know in the comments, because I hate the way this is set up, but because it makes it difficult to illustrate things on screen and stuff like that. But we're going to run the show the same way until we can figure that out. By the way, help your boy out with the hat and mustache, TikTok cap goes, all of that good shit. The same way we run the program as normal. Gangsta Grandma says you're getting old. Getting? Been old for years, goddammit. Been old for years, ain't getting old. A man with wisdom, a man with honor, a man who is fearless. All rise for the handsome liberal. Now that makes me not only feel old, but honored. I like that. Handsome conservative. Thank you very much for your support. So getting into the box, well, tap the screen, get the likes on up before we get too crazy on taking callers. I'll go ahead and read a few comments. What's happening, Tim? The war, that's not a war. That is a war. Yes, it's blood on his orange, barely functioning hands, says CBOG Kush. So some folks are indeed blaming Trump for the deaths of these service personnel in Afghanistan. I'm asking you folks, what say you? Do you believe Trump is responsible for their deaths? Now we got other topics. I also want to run. I want to run this one by you as well, if I can even figure out what the hell have I done with all the notes I had. Anyway, continuing on. This one I don't get. Tap the screen, get us up to 10,000. We'll take the first caller. I don't get
more
this.
tariffs on Canada for wildfire smoke wafting into the United States. The U.S. president blamed Canada for, quote, not properly maintaining their forests, saying the United States is being unnecessarily invaded by filthy, polluted, and unhealthy air, the quality of which is dangerous and totally unacceptable. In the Truth Social post, he also warned, quote, the cost of this pollution must be added to the tariffs Canada is currently paying.
So
President Donald,
just briefly, President, now this is I believe this is indeed Canadian news. So this is a Canadian reporter warning the people of Canada that Trump intends to charge tariffs for the wildfires that are coming out of Canada. What I want to ask you folks, once again, by way of yes or no, do you agree with Trump that we should tariff Canada for the smoke and pollution coming from their wildfires? He's suggesting that they're not managing their country properly enough, leading to wildfires taking place, and that we should, I suppose, be able to recoup damages from that. That's what he's saying. He's going to charge them wildfires. Tap guest icon, open settings top right. Let me see if I can do that. Tap. Okay, I'm tapping that. Settings top right. Okay, allow guests everyone for. Okay, then once I tap that, I got another screen. Layouts to have a home. I don't know what the hell that means. I'm still not seeing where I go from there. So by default, by coins, I don't know. Yes, it's more to it than what you just said. That alone is not enough. There is more to it than what you just said. But that looks like that's taking me in the right direction. But there is more to it than what you just said. In the comments, I would say by named Trump is about neck and neck for worst president. Obama was number one. He dethroned Bush Jr. Wow. So what are you saying? You're saying that you think Obama was the worst and Obama dethroned Bush, but you're saying that Trump is now neck and neck with Obama for being the worst president. Wow. You don't normally get that. That's different. We're on a phone, Coachy Poo. This is on a phone, not a studio. Smoking hash from large blazes usually go up into Canada from the United States. So what is Trump talking about? I want you to hear this. It's interesting you would point that out because one of the Ontario premier responded to Trump. Listen to this. I think this makes really good. I think he said this really well.
I find it a shame the administration in the U.S. and Congress people writing these letters and blaming us and so on and so forth. They have a very short memory. We had the water bombers, everyone ready, going over to California. It was last year. We sent down hydro linemen down to the Carolinas and Georgia to help out. That's what neighbors do, right? You don't get on and start threatening and criticizing because guess what? One day it's going to be your turn, and we're going to be down there without hesitation to support our neighbors. The total number of active wildland fires in Ontario.
And then he just goes into the damages caused. But think about what he just said. How we've had issues in the past, and they came to help us. I mean, that is a great point he just made. That we've had issues, fires, and things like that, and they came down here and helped us. I think this is the problem that the Trump administration is doing, where we're going to end up paying the price after Trump is gone, and that is alienating allies that have assisted us in the past with different things. Like you hear the way Trump talks about NATO as if they didn't rise to the occasion after September 11th and help us. I mean, he's really favoring people that really don't have a history of doing anything for us and alienating folks who really have been on our side, because we've been criticizing NATO for not stepping up and, increasing their military budget and all of that. Meanwhile, we go to war for Israel for free. Israel's not paying anywhere near as much as NATO is. And we're helping them out for free, and they're not even a NATO member ally. So some of this does sound and appear to be backwards. But let me go to the box. Coachy Poo, I'll bring you up. Now, talk to me.
Jesus Christ, I gotta do everything for you liberals. Are you ready?
Talk to me.
Do you see the multi-guest icon bottom left?
Yeah.
Tap that.
Okay.
Then click settings on your top right.
Okay.
And then do you see choose your layout? There's either like a grid. Does it say grid layout?
I got layouts have a new home up there at the top.
Ooh. That's all it says?
It says layouts have a new home. All your design settings are now in one place. Try it out.
Does it say, can you click on it? Just where?
Let me see.
Because that's what you want to go to is layouts.
Okay, I think it's maybe what it is.
Look at that.
Yeah. But that's something new. I don't know what so in other words, they did change something, but thank you.
How good conservatives are to you, man. You gotta quit bashing us, man. You fuckers can't think on your own.
I'm not bashing you as a conservative. That's not happening. But okay, fair. And thank you, by the way. I certainly greatly appreciate that. All right.
No problem.
So we'll get into the show. You can certainly be our first caller. So we've lost 16 in Iran. Is that blood on Trump's hands?
Okay. Oh, man, this is deep. Man, people are going to hate me after this. But first and foremost, death is a part of war.
True.
I hate to say it. I hate to say that as a matter of factly, but
I mean, that's
truly
it. That's kind of a given, but okay.
And it sucks, especially for close loved ones, family members, and all that. But it happens. And I hate to say it as a matter of factly as it happens. And then this being said, too, I don't think we should be in Iran, by the way.
So if we're somewhere where you don't think we should be, then any deaths pertaining to that.
But we are there, and I want to win since we're there.
Right.
So, again, deaths are going to happen. So now to compare to the Biden thing, first of all, I'm not even one that said that there was blood on Biden's hand because, again, it happens in wars.
Right.
I think, in fact, I don't even know a lot of details about it, which I had to literally Google before I jumped up here. I guess the argument you could be made, and I don't even know necessarily if there's, orders that have been made during the Iran thing. Now, again, you may disagree with being in Iran like I do.
Okay.
But did we not follow some orders or whatever the case was be there? It does say, at least online, again, take it for what it's worth, that Biden didn't listen to some military leaders on the way they went out.
Well, if we want to go with Biden didn't listen to military leaders, the counter argument is going to be made that Trump didn't listen to the intelligence agencies as a reason to go to Iran.
And again, I guess you could make that argument if he didn't. And again, I don't know if either one's true. And ultimately, it's still the president's thing. I guess what I would look at is, did they incorrectly do an operation? Now, like, let's say, for instance, and I'm not making the claim because I don't know enough about the Afghanistan one, but I'm saying, what if they would have done everything how we strategized to perfection and 6 people died? I hate to say it.
Then we would be having a different conversation, Coach. I mean, that didn't happen though. If all of that took place, maybe the conversation would be totally different.
But my point being is, if those 6 people die, I hate to say it, especially a matter of factly, is that's part of war. Now, if something wasn't followed and 6 people died or 13 people died, you can make and again, I'm not making that claim because I don't know enough about the Afghanistan. So, but by reading it, it sounds like there's argument of that the area wasn't secured before they tried it, things like that. I don't know.
But all of that applies.
You can make that argument with Trump as well.
Yeah, right. Because all of that, the minute you start bringing up, well, Biden didn't listen to someone, or they didn't follow logistics, or they didn't think something out, you're going to open up a myriad of responses right back at Trump for doing all of that stuff. Didn't listen, didn't think about the Strait of Hormuz being closed. I mean, Trump did not listen to a lot of folks that told him otherwise. That's why this war is going on a lot longer than he thought.
Yeah, and I agree. But like I said, I'm not one. I'd never claim that there's blood on Biden's hands either. I mean, again, I'm more of deaths happen in war, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you do realize though, President Trump himself and MAGA, because we had plenty of, even I did it to some degree, because I'm thinking like, okay, I always believe if it happens under your watch, you're responsible for it. Because if the war goes off without a hitch and it goes off to perfection, Trump's going to take credit for it. So if it's a disaster, you get blamed for it.
Yeah. Well, and to that point, okay, yeah, so the blood's on their hand. Now, again, this is where the crowd's going to hate me, but 13 deaths or 16
It ain't
deaths.
over. It ain't over.
It's pretty insignificant.
Well,
and I know it's significant to those families and loved ones, and yes, it sucks.
Yeah, but hold on, wait. I agree it's a low number to phrase that properly, but keep in mind we're fighting a country that we claim has no Navy, no Air Force. We didn't put any boots on the ground. We're doing it all by air where we're claiming we got air dominance. Trump said we can fly over their country and blow whatever we want up, and there's nothing they can do about it. And yet somehow they've killed 16 people.
Well, yeah, so this is the question I was going to ask you, which kind of, and it's relevant to it. This is where I think, and this is why I'm against being in Iran, is you're dealing obviously with a very different culture. You're dealing with again, call it what it is. I don't think anybody will really argue though it's a terroristic quote country. This is why I don't think we should be there. Is in the end. Well, let me ask you this first. Do you think there should be rules of war? Do you think there should be war crimes?
Yeah, I do. I mean, just like if you're in a fight and you got somebody that's on the ground completely unconscious, you don't give them a one-hitter quitter, and you just constantly bash in the face of somebody that's already unconscious. I mean, even people that are watching a fight, even a street fight. I'm not even talking about a sanctioned fight, but even a street fight, people will stop you. Like at this point, it's not a fight anymore.
Yeah, so that's where probably you and I differ. And I'm not saying you're wrong or maybe I'm a worse person than you, but to me, war is war. There's no fucking rules. You can kick below the belt. It's a fucking war.
So killing kids and women,
babies, absolutely. You can blow up babies. And like I said, I know I'm going to be hated for this, and the reason I say that is because I think when you get in a war with a country like this, they know the rules too. Now, that's why I don't think we should be there, because I think Trump should be smart enough that why are they going to change with this? But they can use war rules against us. They know Trump can't do a lot of the things that he will say he does as threats to try to scare them out of something. They know he can't do it. They literally know American rules about our Constitution, that he has so long to do something on his own without congressional approval, and that Congress probably won't even approve this. So they're using that against us. So he's in a tough pickle, which, yes, he put himself in that, which is why, yes, I don't agree with us being there, because as somebody said in the comments, and a lot of people say, I think it's a never-ending war unless you do war crimes.
But here's the problem. You started out the conversation by pointing out that Iran has a different culture than ours and they're a terroristic country. And then you ended up by saying, but I'm okay with us killing women and babies. How could you call them terrorists if you are okay with us starting the war with them and being okay with killing babies and all? I mean, how was that any different?
Because I'm consistent. I'm okay with them killing their own babies. That's fine.
So then we're terrorists too.
No, that's their culture. I mean, that's why. As much as I don't agree with their culture, it's their culture. Like, I don't think it's us.
But you are an American that's okay with killing women and babies. It sounds like your culture is kind of equivalent to theirs.
I am in war. Just in war.
When they're doing that, they believe it's a war too. Jihad, whatever you want to call it, that's a war to them.
Well, war against themselves?
No, the people that they're taking the lives of. They believe they're at war.
Yeah, but I'm talking them taking themselves.
What do you mean taking themselves?
Like they kill themselves, man. They kill their own babies and shit. But like I said, I don't think we should be involved with that. I mean, that's their deal, man.
Yeah, but and I see in the comments, some Jake points out. Jake says you don't know American history. I gotta kind of agree with him, because a lot of things we're accusing Iran of doing is wrong today. We were doing the same shit yesterday. America has not graduated from activities similar to Iran until just recently in our own history. You know, 1 or 2 generations ago, we had no problem doing some of the same stuff we're complaining about.
Well, and again, I somewhat agree with that. That's why I said, even loosely at the beginning, is, call them a terroristic country, which, to your point, to them, they're not terrorists. That's their culture. That's their everyday life. So that's why I even say that tongue in cheek a little bit, because again, it's what we know. It's kind of like, I'll use a whole nother thing, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole at all, but it's like age of consent. We think it's awful to bang somebody under 18 years old. The only reason we think that is that's what we were taught by law.
Yeah.
But you go into another country and age of consent's 12, that's all they know. But we think it's awful and horrible and they're perverted and all this. We wouldn't think that at all if that's the only thing we knew.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something, even the term terrorism, I don't like the term terrorism, because to me it's kind of our shit don't stink mindset. Right now we have now we have the nation of Cuba in the dark for no reason at all. We just are fucking with Cuba. How is that not terrorism? How is what we're doing to Cuba right now? They haven't done anything to us. What we're doing to Cuba, hurting them folks, they can't use their machines in hospitals and stuff. They can't refrigerate their food or use air conditioning. What we're doing to them is terrorism. We just don't call it that.
And I agree with that. We wouldn't call it that. But the only thing I would say use caution on is what you originally started the live with, is propaganda. I mean, during war, every single country, whether you're involved with it or not, they have their own message to their people.
Right.
And you may have nothing to do with the war. Like, you may be fucking... name a country. You may be Mexico, not involved with this war at all. If you comment on that war, it's still going to be whatever that leader of that country wants their people to.
I agree with the propaganda, but let me ask you this now. Now, if I'm correct, you support Trump, right? You voted for Trump, right?
I support any president of the United States.
Who did you vote for? You didn't
I've
vote
never
for any
voted in my
president.
life.
Who did you vote for?
No, I've never voted in my life.
Yo, so you didn't vote in none of these elections.
No. I don't care who our president is, and I'll tell you why.
What?
Because I've created my
What?
I've created my own opportunities. I've created my own failures. When I fail, I know this is hard to understand as an American, especially a liberal. But when I fail, I don't blame somebody in the White House for
That
it. States away from it.
doesn't matter. If we go to war unnecessarily, you as someone who don't care who the president is could suddenly have people looking to kill you based on the guy that's in the White House.
So again, that's why, yes, I'll have opinions on things. And yes, I don't think we should be there, but we are there. So now that we are there, even though I don't agree with it, I can tell you what I don't want to do is lose. Because to your point, I don't want to be an Iranian. I don't want to be killed.
But if you want, but even if you want
I'm not for
to,
being there, I want to win.
but even if you're deciding whether or not to win or lose, you need to select the best president that may take you down that path. You're making it sound like you don't care who's in who's in office. If Iran is actually trying, for instance, if Iran is actually trying to get a nuclear bomb, you don't see any difference between President Kamala Harris, President Joe Biden, or President Trump. Doesn't matter who's in there, huh?
No, I think they would be just as far or not as far as they are right now as they would be whether Kamala is in office or Joe. No president has ever had a meaningful impact on my life. And just for the people in the chat that are dumb enough to stay, hold on, just for the people in the chat that are dumb enough to use the old omen of, you have no voice if you don't vote. Obviously, you don't understand fucking freedom, you idiots.
Well, to some degree.
They don't understand freedom. Because guess what? Our military people fought for the right for me not to vote as well.
Yeah, I think you have a voice. I think what you're doing is you're just opting to not use it. I mean,
I already told you why. How many people have you heard in the last 8 years say they don't like either candidate? Why the fuck did you vote for it?
Lots of
Why'd
people.
you vote for somebody you didn't like?
Because you can vote. You can vote for the lesser of two evils.
Okay, I didn't vote for either one because no president's ever had a meaningful impact on my life.
I'm certain that.
But whoever wins, I'm going to support, just like I supported Joe Biden.
So if you got a
country, I want them to win.
Let me give you the argument that President Trump is trying to make, that the Democrats are rife with communism and socialism. So if you got a presidential candidate that's running that's a socialist candidate versus one that's a capitalist candidate, do you still have the mindset of neither one of these guys are going to have any impact on my life, even though one may be trying to go further down the road of capitalism and another one may be going towards socialism?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So again, I'm not saying I will never vote. I was close to voting this last election, but again, in the end, I was doing what a lot of Americans do. I was going to vote against who I didn't want, not necessarily for who I wanted. And I didn't want Kamala. I strongly did not want Kamala, but in the end, I was like, I actually thought she was going to win and still chose not to. Now, to your point, if there's a functionality of America, capitalistic America, that is potentially going to turn socialist, yes, I may. I don't know. I would have to see what they were saying about that, but I would be more likely to vote then.
Even though one president is obviously more likely to get us involved in, and I'm going to say this from a plural sense. I know about Iran, but one president is more likely to get us in wars with an S at the end of it. I mean, none of these other folks. We can talk about Kamala and Biden, or we can talk about the other 9 that tried to primary Trump, from Vivek Ramaswamy to Tim Scott to Chris Christie. None of those guys were getting us in wars, plural. This one guy, because he said Cuba's next, he's talked about Greenland, he's talked about making Canada a 51st state. This one dude is getting us in a bunch of wars, and you're saying it ain't likely to affect your life.
I don't care what people say. I'm more about action. I mean, has Trump really got us in more wars?
So you don't vote in any election?
No, I've never voted in my life.
Is that the plan? How old are you?
51.
Wow. And is that the plan? The plan of action continuing? You don't plan on voting in any election going forward?
I mean, things are, again, like they are today, where there's no major shift, unless I really think there's going to be a meaningful impact. No, I don't plan on it.
That's I am like literally speechless with that. I see the comments. Eddie said,
because again, I don't get on TikTok and bitch and moan every time something goes wrong in my life. I mean, let's just be honest. No offense. You don't give a fuck either. You just want to click some views like every other TikToker.
Do I want a president? Yeah, I do. Do I want a president?
None of these debaters, even Harry Sisson, he don't give a fuck about politics.
I think you're completely.
It's clicks and views, dude.
I think no, because I was talking politics long before there was any financial incentive or TikTok existed. I used to call in the Fox News talk every day and argue back and forth with O'Reilly and Brian Kilmeade and all of them when they were on the radio. I've been doing this shit for 25 plus years. I do care.
That's probably why I like you more than the others, quite honestly.
Huh?
Because I think then that's probably why I like you more than the others. Because I think you are truer to it than, like I said, Harry Sisson doesn't give two. Dean Withers, he has no experience in politics, whatever. He's a college dropout. He's never even.
He sounds like a liberal. He sounds like a liberal Charlie Kirk, to be honest with you. I mean, he really is a liberal version of Charlie Kirk.
And Charlie Kirk was in it for clicks and views. Absolutely.
Well,
Dean Withers will never be a politician. He will never even try to be a politician. He's a TikTok's fantasy star. That's it.
I don't know.
Good for him. Good for him. But let's call it what it is. Let's not look at him as this big political fucking influencer.
Dude is like 21 or something. You can't predict his whole life. You can't suggest it right now. Based on what he's doing right now, he'll never be a politician.
I'll bet you right now. Let's make a bet when it's in. I'll give you 30 years. I bet he never runs for any office.
You and I, with our ages, we may not even have 30 years left on the planet. 30 years.
Come on, man. The strong survive. We're good.
Now, I'm not for certain of that. I'm a black man. God kills us quicker. I gotta move it on.
All right. Thanks for letting me up. But yeah, I'm glad you got your boxes straightened up.
Thank you, Coach. That's the one thing I agree with you on. This is not voting shit. You're a coach that don't vote. Don't coach anybody about politics.
I'm a life coach. I'm your life coach.
I don't know about that.
Let me up again though sometime. You'll let me up again, won't you?
Anytime. Come on back through anytime.
Buddy.
Thank you.
I appreciate. Like I said, I do enjoy listening to your discussions.
All right.
I really do.
And get out there and vote while you still can. Appreciate it. Tap the screen. We should be at 20,000. What the hell? No TikTok, has no cap mustache, no love today at all, huh? Wow. Guys ain't even tapping the screen. This is that bad. JJ said he's a piece of shit. Be nice to the guests. Lewis says, what a fucking waste. You guys are cruel. That doesn't even make sense. He's lying, says Debo. In the comments, by the way, tap the screen. Get us up to 20,000, if you will. Caller has no facts to back it up. Like I said, Google Democratic Socialists of America and look at their policies. Look. You can Google the DSA or whatever you're talking about and say, look at their policies. You know what it sounds almost like? When the right is saying, look up the DSA and look at all their policies and how awful they're about to change America with this socialism stuff. You sound like the Democrats just a couple years ago saying, look up the Heritage Foundation and all this Project 2025 stuff that they're planning on how they're going to fuck up America. Your side, and I'm assuming when you make that comment, you lean right. Your side denied that Project 2025 had anything to do with Trump's agenda. But here we are, and a large portion of Project 2025's agenda has been implemented by the Trump administration. But we were on the left, we were yelling the same thing you're yelling about the DSA now, is that they're trying to turn this country far right, take away women's rights, reverse all the gains of minorities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You guys on the right did not want to even talk about Project 2025, much less go online and read it. But now that you feel socialism may be a threat, you want folks to go and read up on the DSA. I'm just letting you know that sometimes getting your own medicine can make you sick too. Look it in the comments, tap the screen. Facts only, yeah. Handsome Conservative says, I like your setup. You should keep it that way. It looks much better. I can see the screen behind you. That little box where all of the open invites, you like that better? Really? Okay, you're the only one so far that's saying that. Why you think socialism is a threat, says Coach. I personally do not even think most Americans know what socialism is enough to say it's a threat. I've been listening to Mamdani. I've been listening to AOC and Bernie Sanders, and I have been listening to those on the right, as I pointed out, for 20 plus years. Folks on the right were adamant that Barack Obama was going to turn America socialist. At the time, Greece had the failed economy. The claim was, and I know because I was arguing this with John Gibson and O'Reilly of Fox at the time. The claim was, if you elect Obama, he's going to turn us into socialist Greece. Greece has now recovered their economy, and you don't hear them really bashing Greece anymore. But that was the target back then. Then it became, after Hugo Chavez's death, socialist Venezuela. You're not hearing them bashing Venezuela anymore because Trump is kind of in control of Venezuela. But what we're doing is we try to find the country that we can label as a socialist or a communist country that is doing economically the absolute worst on the planet. And then we say the Democrats are going to turn us into that country. I've been seeing this for years. Obviously, after 8 years of Obama, we didn't come close to being anything near what the right was saying. Anything near. Obama was just as much capitalistic as everybody else. We didn't come close to being anywhere near all that stuff. So I'm just going to tell you, when I hear them saying that Mamdani or AOC or Bernie Sanders is going to do pretty much the same shit that they said Obama was going to do, I'm hesitant in believing it because it just sounds like the same complaint, different year. You're on record as being really, really wrong about what Obama's intentions were. So that plays a part in how I view what you're saying now. Going back to the box, we always do better under Democrats, says Ardita. Fair enough. Yes, because we gave Venezuela the birth of life that is desperately needed. We didn't do shit for Greece. In fact, while you're talking about we gave Venezuela the birth of life, no, we were all deeply involved in heavily sanctioning Venezuela. A lot of Venezuela's poverty has a lot to do with us not liking Hugo Chavez and putting all kinds of sanctions. You guys keep picking out these countries that are really doing bad, and then you don't want to talk about the fact that America has its hands all over their economy and it literally is smothering these countries. Like you guys try to say, well, Cuba's a good example of a communist country that Mamdani is going to turn us into. As if America hasn't been really fucking with Cuba economically. A lot of Cuba's woes can be traced to American influence. In the comments, are we at 20,000? Tap the screen, get us up to 20,000. Help your boy with the hat and mustache. TikTok cap goes if there is any love in supporting the program. Who cares? Nothing actually matters once you realize we are on a ball of dirt and water floating through space. The strong win. If you're not stronger, you're going to lose. That's crazy. Healthcare and things do matter. Watch the Venezuela documentary by Ari Fleischer. The average Venezuelan lost 25 pounds after being starved by their government and was eating their dog. I was told the Haitians were eating cats and dogs too. So I don't know. I hear it because we could talk about in America how many people have lost pounds and lost their lives after we got rid of people's health care. How many folks that used to work for the federal government that's been fired by President Trump that may have lost 25 pounds. The shit is happening here too. Our government is causing misery and strife upon its people. You want to pretend like it's only happening overseas? Going back to the box, are we at 20,000? Tap the screen. We'll go straight on to Ronald Smith. Good evening, Ronald. That's not the same thing. Yeah, in your eyes. But to the American that's losing weight and struggling, it's the same thing to them. Ronald, are you there? Okay, Ronald came and went, so we'll continue on. The government in Venezuela controlled the means of production. There are countries that get more involved in how businesses are ran in their country. I don't mean all the people are starving and dying, though. I mean, it is what it is. I agree with what you're saying, but I think we're overplaying how bad these countries are and overstating the life in America. Meaning they were rationing food. That is socialism. Okay, and we're supposed to believe when you guys claim that Obama's original intentions were to ration food, because you guys claimed that Obama was a socialist. So you're telling me in 2008 that was his goal to come to power and start rationing food? You've been wrong before. That's the point I'm making. We are all losing weight right now because of the new explosive diarrhea and vomiting. Let me go back to the box. Butler Holmes. Good evening, Butler. Welcome to the program.
Well, the Freedom Care family will explain.
Butler, are you there?
Free for patients.
Apparently not. We'll continue and move on. How are these folks requesting it and not knowing it? All right, continuing on. Tap the screen. Help your boy out with the head and mustache. Tick-tock cap goes. We'll go to BG, I think that says. A good evening, Goddess Yasmin. BG, if it brings you up, the only rations I've experienced, what does that says? The only rations I've experienced, women, I've been cut off. Devo. So you tell me your brides get rationed out to you? Your women get rationed out to you? Oh my goodness. You're not getting enough rations. You're not getting enough pussy rations. Is that how that works? Oh, well, talk about meals ready to eat. Shout out to you if you can get your hands on a ration or two. Tim, where are you finding these guests today? In the box. This is where they are. I don't get it, but this guest here is revolving, so apparently this one is not coming up either. So we like bringing on new guests. We don't mind bringing on new guests. You guys know we'll bring on MAGA any day of the week, anytime. We don't block, ban, or censor. Our program is MAGA friendly. Our comments do go left of Mom Donnie to I'm having dinner with Q. You can be critical of anybody on the program, including yours truly. That's how free speech works here. So we don't censor or limit your time because you got a different opinion politically. You can disagree with anyone here, including yours truly. Blacks give you hell judging by your background. True. One of my guests on Clapper is, well, not all of them, but yeah, you're right. There are plenty of African Americans that see a MAGA hat and a photo of Trump and they go ape shit. Yeah, but when you listen to the program, you kind of understand. It's not that we're here just celebrating Trump. But yeah, if you watch it for the first time, you are correct. You want me to take your opinion into account, but you voted for Kamala. Yeah. I'm assuming if you voted for Trump, you're going to want people to take your opinion into account. I mean, look, there are things people voted for that may be single issue. I mean, like, look, if I'm a low-waged employee, and for me, the biggest thing that would matter is either tuition forgiveness or a minimum wage increase. Why the hell would I vote Republican? We can talk about socialism, we can talk about tampons in bathrooms and shit, but if those are my two biggest issues, I need someone to forgive my student loans and I need a minimum wage. Why the hell would I vote anything on the right? Just like if you believe in protecting the sanctity of life or you are a 2A absolutist, you have no business voting left. Sometimes it's a single issue. So there are legitimate reasons to vote for everybody. Lopez, he forced everyone to buy Obamacare. Yeah, but you're only taking into consideration the people who had money to buy insurance. When you say he forced everybody to buy Obamacare, the people who are not insured at all, that couldn't afford any insurance, you're not concerned with them. The people who dislike Obamacare have no concern of the uninsured in this country at all. You really don't want nothing done for them at all. We're really having a hell of a time bringing up guests, apparently, and we'll try it again with Ian. Keep your friends close, enemies closer, the art of the deal. I don't know what the deals are that Trump is making. To me, Trump's operating on a do what I say or get killed. That's not a deal. He's just bullying his way, hopefully to success, but I'm not seeing it any other way. We'll go with Stick the Ruler. Let's try it out with Stick. There we go. Finally, somebody came up. Stick, good evening.
Hey, good evening, Tim. How you doing?
I don't even know. We lost 2 more service personnel today.
Yeah. So again, that's the part where who's gonna be held accountable for the bullshit? The reasoning of us even being over there in the sense that the military, it don't make no sense.
Do you see that? Do you see their deaths as blood on Trump's hands, though?
Oh, definitely. I see it on Pete's hands. I see it on Trump's hands. I see it on anybody that's with this shit. It's on you. If you're a Trump supporter and you with this shit, it's on you too.
Well, there are some Trump supporters, like my last caller, who's never voted in an election at all, but he is conservative by his own admission. There are Trump supporters that do not favor the war in Iran. I mean, so they supported Trump, but they don't support this war he got us in.
But they voted for it though. They voted. This is what they remember. They said they voted for this shit. They know what they said.
No, there's a lot of Stick. I gotta disagree. There's a lot of MAGA that voted for Trump because he was promising no more new wars. He was going to be America first.
And then they still said that they voted for this shit after the shit started.
Yeah.
They still made excuses. They still made excuses for the reason why we're over there.
Yeah.
They're still supporting him while also saying that they don't like the decisions that he made. But then you got people like even the handsome conservative. I'm going to say it out loud. He's in the comments saying he's the best president ever, but at the same time, you didn't vote for him. What we got going on? What are we doing?
I gotta, you make a good point. Handsome conservative, who is he's certainly a friend of the program, but you really, is he really saying that Trump is the best president ever? He might be just trolling.
King Fan took a screenshot of him saying it in the comments with your face, prominently posted. And right up under your face is the comment, President Trump is the best president ever.
Wow.
So when you got confusion going on, it's hard to say, I don't like this, I didn't vote for this, and all of this other shit. You voted for it, and then you backed it up saying that he's the best president ever. Mm-hmm. So you can't be one of the people that's saying you against it or whatever the case may be. So.
Wow. I mean, I talk to, I do talk to a few MAGA occasionally here. I prefer talking to MAGA. In fact, most of the MAGA I'm talking to are no longer saying Trump is the best president anymore. They still believe he's significantly better than anything the liberals would have put up there. I get that because they lean right. But this Trump is the greatest, the GOAT, greatest of all time stuff. Most MAGA is starting to back off of that because it's getting harder and harder to defend why they're claiming that.
This was said day before yesterday, Tim. So it ain't no this is new or they backing off. And he's not even MAGA. He's a conservative. He says that all the time, but yet at the same time, the person that you say you don't agree with, you just said he was the best person ever. So you're confusing people.
Yeah, like Coach in the comments. My last guest, the one who never voted, he's in the comments now saying I'm not MAGA, but he is the best. You just said presidents don't do anything to change our lives, and now you're saying he's the best. That don't make any sense whatsoever. If the president does nothing to change your life, then what are you judging him on to come to the conclusion that he's the best? What you're saying is just so contradictory. I don't even know where to go with nothing like that. That didn't make any sense at all.
He's the best president ever because he came behind the black man. Ooh. He's the best president ever because he came behind the person that supported the black man as the vice president, Joe Biden. And it's the same person that has all of these goddamn quotes and little sayings that he likes to say, but somehow, some way, he's not prejudiced.
But then let me ask you this, because, and by the way, you talked about following, Obama and Biden. Gangsta Grandma being a perfect example of a guest that believes that one reason why Trump is favored so heavily has something to do with racism. Like it's as if MAGA only really favors Trump because they think he's delivering a racist agenda or something. Do you subscribe to that same theory?
Yes, I agree. Gangsta Grandma is right on the head. number one, it's not just because he's racist, it's because he's vowing to hurt people that's not like them. He's vowing to make sure that they somehow, some way suffer. It's a promise of racism. She's absolutely right. It's a promise. I got you. Once I get in that seat, I'm gonna do some of the most racist shit. Tim Scott said it too. Oh, that's some of the most racist shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know. So,
Tim Scott did Tim Scott said twice. Once when Trump posted the Obamas as monkeys, Senator Tim Scott said that's the one. But also in Trump's first term when he posted the video of the guys yelling white power, Tim Scott also said he told Trump to take that down, said that was racist too. So Mr. I love you, man, has caught Trump doing two things that even he claims are racist.
right. Even though he said he loves him, though. He loves him, though.
Yeah.
That's some shit. You love a racist. So again, now mind you, he's a black man.
And they called me a sellout with some shit like that out there.
I imagine what the white folks are saying. That the ones that are racist, they love it. They love it. They're cheering Trump on. That's the reason. All Trump needs to hear is one person say he's doing good, and he believes it. Everybody else could be. It could be a million people suffering on one side, and one person on the other side saying, "Don't worry about it. We're okay." He said, "Oh yeah, that dude right there told me y'all okay. Everybody's okay."
Well, listen, we know Trump loves the positive reinforcement. I mean, we all do. I mean, with Trump, positive reinforcement is kind of like currency. You can kind of buy him to some degree if you kiss his ass strong enough. But, I mean, we all like positive reinforcement.
Did you just say we all love it? We don't love that shit.
You don't like people telling you you're doing a good job? I mean, hold on. Let me tell you. Let me say it like this. Kid. Let me go ahead and grift off this shit in honor of our commander-in-chief. When folks tell me I'm doing a good job, when they send those fucking hats and mustaches and shit that they're not doing now, I like it. I like it. So yes, positive reinforcement matters.
No. Grifting and positive reinforcement is two different fucking things. Positive reinforcement is actually you enforcing some of your positive policies, which he has none.
I'm saying when people are telling you something favorable about yourself, let's say you're on a diet and women all of a sudden say, you look really good, look like you're losing weight. That really incentivizes you significantly. That means something.
Hold on. What's the positive thing that you're doing? You're on a diet. You're already trying to lose weight. This motherfucker ain't trying to get the gas prices down. This motherfucker ain't
H2O.
trying to lower grocery prices. Like, he's not doing anything positive. So by you just sitting up there telling me a facade and a lie, that don't help me because my shit's still looking fucked up and horrible.
Well, but you're saying this from somebody on the left side of the aisle, because folks on the right side of the aisle believes that, yeah, right now grocery prices and gas prices are not where they're supposed to be. But that's because, and JPT Farms, thank you for the hat and mustache, they believe right now Trump is busy trying to make our nation safe by preventing Iran from becoming a nuclear power. So, yeah, there's a little bit of financial suffering going on while he's doing something that makes us safe. Once he takes care of Iran, as he's promised, fuel prices will go down like a rocket. That's what he's saying.
So again, you're taking the word and the lie and you're conflating it to be a truth that's going to happen later when we've already seen, we're already almost 2 years in, this motherfucker ain't doing what he's supposed to do. I'm not trying to take none of your lies and your baloney. I'm going to say it like an old white person. You're baloney. That's baloney.
Malarkey was, yeah, that's Biden's word. That's malarkey. I swear it's about, whoa, thank you for that, handsome conservative. Send me a whole fucking television set. Thank you. I've never seen that on Clapper. But no, what I'm...
How about this one? Real quick before we move past this. How about Jeremy? He's a perfect example of how they're confused and they don't know what the fuck they want. One minute you saying, I don't like none of this, and and then as soon as Mike the Boss get up there, then you want to put on your goddamn Klansman hat and say that Trump is the best, and Trump knows, and black people bad, and all this other fuck shit. See, these are the motherfuckers that are confused, dumb, and don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Well, understand if you're on the right side of the aisle, you forced to debate Mike. That's like being on the left and debating Charlie Kirk. It's gonna bring the worst out of you because Mike is really good at what he fucking does. So that's good.
Actually, it shouldn't bring the worst out of you if you are so intelligent. I think I used to call Jeremy the racist James Bond. I think that was the name I gave him a while back. And again, he showed.
I remember the racist. I don't think that guy was Jeremy. I remember the racist. It was this guy who almost had an accent to some degree. It was because Jeremy, he would talk like what Jeremy said all the time. He hated the J people from Israel. I mean, he was really bad. I remember that. That was about a year or two ago. And real quick, handsome conservative. Thank you. I saw the tube, man. Appreciate that. Inflatable tube. Thank you. But no, I mean, we've been talking to Jeremy back and forth, and yeah, a lot of my African American liberal viewers thought Jeremy was racist from day one. I didn't see it in him, but what he said yesterday, where he was blaming blacks for all of the crime and all this other stuff, that was different. I didn't expect it to come out of him.
You didn't expect that to come out of them, but you don't expect it to come out of any of them because they're your beloved MAGA. Because you favorite them.
I like talking to Mac. What's wrong with talking to a little bit of MAGA?
Get that shit up out of here. That fucking you know what? When it comes down to it, all they know is I can't say bad against Trump. So I have to twist myself and bend myself into a pretzel, and then going from there, it's just the bullshit. There's no substance behind it. There's nothing. There's no way they can prove their point because nothing.
Well, and that is bad if you're in a position where you got to defend your president, even if you know he's doing something that you would criticize coming from another president. Some MAGA are starting to peel away from that, but you are right. This is the reason why after all of the years I watched Fox, I stopped watching it because I'm like, I've been watching you folks way too long and seeing you guys criticize Obama and Biden for stuff that Trump is doing and you're now defending. I know you don't agree with this because I've watched you criticize liberal politicians doing the same thing. And all of a sudden you're okay with it when Trump does it. And that led me to stop watching them because their whole motto was we're fair and balanced and we're not like the other networks. And they became like literally leading in the biased coverage now. They literally are worse than MSNBC in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, so again, you got people that are getting nothing for their vote. He's already told he just wants your vote. Y'all love him. Y'all eat his diapers and shit. So at the end of the day, when you look at it, it's kind of like, where are you at? If you're a person that was complaining, and then we say, well, see, we told you, and then you turn around and pull a Jeremy. The conclusion is you're racist with your orange Jesus. That's what it is. That there's no way around it.
Can you support Trump without being racist? I mean, do you don't believe all 100% all of MAGA, every Trump supporter is racist? You don't believe that, do you?
I'm gonna say it like this: all MAGA is not racist, but all racists are MAGA.
Wait, say that.
All MAGA is not racist, but all racists are MAGA.
Of course, I believe that you can be black or Hispanic and be racist too. I know you and I have had this, and you don't believe black people can be racist and stuff like that, but I do believe that you can be a racist liberal as well.
I believe you can be a bigoted liberal. I believe you can be a prejudiced liberal as a black person. But as a black person, you're not part of the system. So we don't have to go over that again. But however, the problem that we're having is this. You said that you voted for it because he was firing and purging the federal government when there and took all our information and we fuck the actually took, how much they actually supposedly saved the American people when it comes down to the money. We don't know where the money. Do you see us a whole bunch of we don't knows in that?
Yeah.
We why somehow, some way, the guy that says we can't afford to send somebody that needs care for their children, the person that needs the medical subsidies, we don't got money for that, but somehow we got money for swimming pools, well, for reflection pools, fucking putting your name on a center that was been named in probably like the 70s or the 80s or some shit like that. The Kennedy Center, right? That's what it's supposed to be. Not supposed to be Trump and Kennedy Center. Like, you just threw your name in there.
Yeah, I can't. I have no explanation for why Trump is spending all of our tax money to put his name on everything. Because all of that stuff, we're paying for that. His face on passports, his signature on currency. You're talking about the Kennedy Memorial. Yeah, we are, as taxpayers, we're paying for him to name everything after himself. And once again, this is something that I mentioned with Fox News. Like, there's no way in hell they would support Obama or Biden or Kamala Harris or some liberal naming all of Washington after itself. They would have been all over that, suggesting that this person is trying to be a fucking king. But when Trump is doing it, they turn a blind eye to it.
Man, we probably could have sent at least 400 people to the NBA Finals if Trump would have sat his ass home and took all that money that he was going to spend for just him to go. He could have sent some citizens there. Yeah. He could have sent some of his beloved MAGA to the fucking to the finals game. Since that's what he's doing, he tried to give him $1.8 billion for the motherfuckers who did the riot on January 6th. So again, all the normal, regular, smuggler MAGA that said that believe the lies, they're getting shamed and fucked. They know it, I know it, you know it. Well, that's where we're at.
And that remains to be seen. Stick, I don't know completely if I agree with you, but I do appreciate you coming through. Thank you very much.
No problem. Have a good day,
You too, absolutely. In the comments, I got Naeem Barber's kind of echoing the sentiment of my last caller. He says, as a Trump supporter, you are either racist or you're uninformed or friends with him. So if you're a Trump supporter, you're either racist, you're uneducated, uninformed, or you are friends with President Trump. There's obviously some of that, but like I keep mentioning, there are other issues that would lead you to vote for President Trump and not vote liberal if you were a single issue voter. I keep bringing up protecting the sanctity of life for the unborn. There's a lot of evangelicals that really favor protecting children in the womb, and they put that above all else. Just like there's a lot of people who put 2A rights above all else. If you're anti-2A, that disqualifies you from voting for you. There's people like that. I don't care how minor your 2A issue is. If you're not a 2A absolutist, that's a disqualifier. Nothing to do with racism. Sometimes it's single issue voting. So I do believe there's like farmers, for instance, people who live in rural areas. Farmers do not see love from liberals as much as they do from conservatives. So if you're a farmer, you're worried about your farm or family farm getting handed down and you're concerned with being taxed and things like that, the right is talking about no taxes all the time. Meanwhile, the Democrats tend to speak more in favor of raising taxes. So that might be a single issue for you. There's a lot of single issue shit out there. And it could be, listen, I've been told this by a couple of friends I have that are MAGA. When it comes to racism, their mindset is that ain't my fight. Some of these folks believe I'm not racist, but I'm not going to vote against a candidate that may be racist if he's doing what I need done for me. To them, the racism argument, the fight for civil rights, it ain't my fight. That's, I believe, what represents most of America. Certainly during the era of slavery and abolitionists. I don't believe, obviously, most Americans were not owning slaves, but they were more focused on whatever was concerning to them at the time, to the point where it didn't matter if you were pro or against slavery. As long as you fit the closest to the issue I'm concerned with, I don't care about that. I'm not a slave. None of my friends are. It's not my fight. And I do believe there's a lot of that even in today's society. It's just not my fight. In the comments, as Trump supporter, I saw that name says purposely uninformed. Whoa, thank you. Absolutely. Handsome conservative showing the boy some love. Wow, I appreciate that. That caught my attention out of the side. I thank you very much. What was that? I don't even know. But thank you very much. The thing is, Trump is not doing anything for America, and these people can't see anything but empty promises. He is doing something for America. You just don't favor what he's doing. Getting rid of the illegal immigrants is huge in the eyes of MAGA. They believe the illegal immigrants were vermin, poisoning the blood of this country, raping and murdering everybody. Trump is getting rid of them by the thousands. That is huge in the eyes of MAGA. Same thing with the notion that the LGBTQ community is ruining our children's upbringing. Trump is going after them hard, gung-ho. He is doing things for America. You just don't agree with what he's doing or don't value what he's doing. But he's doing things for America. It's just things that you have no concern with. Exactly, host says, Coach, well said, or both sides. Someone who says not good just means you disagree. True. Fox used that fair and balanced moniker to fool non-thinkers with simple words they can understand, all while presenting only the right perspective of what they call news. Liars. DD8605, I agree with you 100%. Because Fox News was not fair and balanced even when they used to have that moniker down there saying fair and balanced. Back when Shepard Smith was on the network and all of them, Neil Cavuto, a lot of folks who are no longer on the network. It wasn't fair and balanced even back then, but they were saying that. Going back to the box, help your boy out with the hat and mustache, tick-tock cap goes. We'll go to Gravy for All. Good evening, Gravy. And I used to watch all the time. Yeah, I used to watch Fox religiously. I knew their whole schedule all the way from Fox and Friends in the morning to the repeat of Bill O'Reilly. I mean, I knew their whole schedule. And yeah, it never was unbiased, but it was really good programming. I liked the debates they had on there. I mean, I thought, O'Reilly was good at it. Outnumbered wasn't on back then, and neither was The Five. But all of the programs, they had Glenn Beck, and before Glenn Beck, it was John Gibson's The Big Story. I mean, I know all of their lineup, and it was fun to watch, even though I knew what they represented. But now it's just we are the pro-Trump network, and if Trump changes his mind tomorrow, we're going to change our mind with him. That's not fun to watch anymore. Like you're not standing on principles. Because President Trump is not standing on principles. He's changing his mind constantly, and you guys are just changing your mind with him. Then what the fuck is that? In the comments, I'll show it to you one more time. Thank you. I did see that. Handsome conservative with all the love today. Thank you. Going back to the box, we'll go to Daki. Good evening, Daki. Welcome to the program. And in the comments, I want to make sure I missed anything. Trump is the last president to pass any gun reform. Hold on a second, Daki. That is true. The bump stocks. Daki, whoa. Daki, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, what brings you on? What am I getting wrong today? Handsome conservative with a beautiful president. Thank you.
I wouldn't say that you're getting anything wrong, but I say that you just, it's all in what they call it, how you phrase it. Trump is not doing stuff for America. He's doing things to America.
Damn. Give me some examples. What is he doing?
For example, he's doing things like stroking hate, racism. He's robbing the country. I mean, he's not doing anything to benefit the country. That's what people mean. I mean, when MAGA, I agree with some of the things MAGA. We want, like, the illegals to be gone, but the people that he's removing out of the country are not illegals. They're grandma. People been here 30 years. He has changed.
No, they're still illegal though. No, you got grandma that's been here for 30 years, but she is still undocumented. She's still here illegally.
But she was undocumented, but they were going to their appointments. He removed their legal status.
Well,
he chose to do that. Unilaterally, he did that.
Yeah, but think about it. Even if you're undocumented, You're going to your appointments to try to go from being undocumented to being able to stay here legally. And he just stepped up and said, the method you're taking to stay here, we're no longer going to accept that method. I mean, when you're going to court to try to stay here legally, they can reject you. I mean, when I moved overseas and I was pursuing residency, I knew the whole time, for any reason they want to come up with, they can tell me, no, you can't stay here.
But Tim, I understand that. But if he done it unbiasedly, I know some Serbians.
Yeah.
I know some Ukrainians that are here illegally. I don't see none of the people of other colors getting. See, he's attacking certain people.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He's stroking division, hate. And to be honest with you, most people don't care about the racist thing as much, like you said. But many people that's in MAGA, that's what they're holding on to. And they're not being honest. Like you said, MSNBC, they said negative things. When Joe Biden did negative things, they said those things. When Joe Biden was up there talking about the economy doing great, they called it out. No, it's not. He's tone deaf. They said all those things. I mean, they attacked them just like that. But Fox News never attacked Trump on nothing.
Yeah, to me, what makes Fox News, because, I know they often criticize CNN and MSNBC as leaning left and you can't trust them. But to me, what makes Fox News even more egregious and even more biased than MSNBC and CNN is the fact that you got a revolving door between Fox News and the Trump administration, meaning that a lot of Fox News personalities have left the network and went right into the Trump administration, or left the Trump administration and went right into the network. They are literally interchangeable with each other. They getting on Air Force One. You got Sean Hannity at Trump rallies and shit on stage. You got Chris Faulkner at his, you guys are all working together as one. MSNBC and CNN are not that close to liberal politicians like that. I mean, Trump calls into Fox News, Fox and Friends in the morning, or he might call in the show. He regularly does that. That ain't happening on MS now. They're not that linked up like that.
And I definitely agree with you on that. And I also feel like, I hear a lot of people say, you be fluffing sometimes, but I'll be honest with you. I don't think you're fluffing that much. I think when you say something one side don't want to hear, they don't like you no more. When you say something the other side don't want to hear, they're not going to like you no more.
That is true.
That's what they call in the middle. That's what everybody says they want to be, but nobody sticks in
That is true. Yep, and I say that. That shows you that I'm somewhat near the middle because I'm hated by both sides of the aisle.
Real by both sides.
And real quick, while we're talking, I got stating 2 more soldiers gone, and the question is Trump to blame? We've gotten nearly 90 respondents started it. 65% of the respondents says yes, Trump is to blame for the loss of those. What do you think? Two more, making it 16 total. Do you see this as blood on Trump's hands?
Most definitely. I'm ex-military. I'm a disabled veteran.
Thank you.
And it starts from the top. I go do it. So it starts with him. The responsibility lies on him. When I make a command decision, I got to be in a position to be accountable for that decision I make. Yeah. So he got to be accountable for the decisions he made. He can't brush it off and say, oh, where's those other guys somehow? I mean, we all can look at things from our point of view because we want to see it that way. But it's all about accountability, and we don't have enough of it.
Wow. And listen, I'm only asking that question. I know particularly my MAGA Saturday, my beloved MAGAs, I often say, are not going to like the notion that we're trying to, attempting to ask the question of whether or not Trump has blood on his hands for the loss of 2 additional service personnel. But I do bring up the fact that Trump blamed Biden for those 13 dead in the evacuation of Afghanistan. So once he started doing that to other commander-in-chiefs, he kind of opened up the door for folks to at least ask the question on whether or not he is to blame.
And I'm going to tell you what's even more deeper than that. The plan to remove those soldiers from there was hashed out on the Trump administration. Biden was following a timeline that was set by Trump.
Wow.
The plan the Afghanistan withdrawal, that plan was devised on Trump watch. Biden already had a timeline. He came into office. That timeline had already been set. He was doing what was set on the Trump administration, what was handed down to the commanders. They were just executing what Trump put in place.
Wow. But see, that's why I always say when you're the coach of the team, you're responsible for because I believe that's what happened during the Iranian hostage. Reagan is known for getting credit for. What they did to free those hostages was drawn up under Jimmy Carter's watch. So yeah, Ronald Reagan just happened to be there at the time it happened, and he got all the credit for it. But from what I can remember from history, that was drawn up in Carter's time. And we treat Reagan as a hero for freeing the hostages, and we treat Carter as the bumbling buffoon on it.
And see, that's a big thing. I hear Meghan like to say this to her, put it in context. We need to put the chronological things that happen in context. We give Trump I hear a lot of Meghan giving Trump credit for his first term. We got to understand, Trump walked into something that was set in play by Obama, and he benefited from Obama's economy. Now, I'm not going to blame Trump for the pandemic. I can't blame him because that's something that happened. But he did not do anything but give a tax break to the rich in his first term. He didn't pass any policy that benefited America and helped the middle class or the poor. We got to stop lying to ourselves saying he did something great. He didn't do anything. But gave a tax cut.
Well, you see, this is why I kind of slightly differ. I give Trump credit during his first term for the economy, and I agree with you. Obama left him with a rising economy, an increasingly better. The economy was on the rise when Trump took office. However, Trump could have did a host of things like he's done this time to ruin the economy. He didn't do that. So the economy continued to rise under his watch because he didn't do anything to interfere with it rising. And some might suggest he did things to ensure it continued rising. So I'm giving him credit for that. I agree with you, though, however. When it comes to the pandemic, I think Trump did a dismal job. I think he's responsible for people losing their lives because of how he treated the vaccine, even though thanks to him, he's the reason we have the vaccine with Operation Warp Speed. So the way he rolled that out, trying to be on both sides of the issue and not really reassuring the public whether or not to take the vaccine, whether or not the virus was something to even be worried about, coming out in the beginning and saying, I think the virus will just be gone by April, based on no information whatsoever. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I think Trump would have got reelected in 2020.
I believe so, too. I really do believe so, because he wasn't as bad as he is right now. But I'm to the point now, people so blindfolded and lost, they'll probably put him in office again. He's trying to an extent where democracy is totally gone. This man they're trying to steal the election. I mean, let me ask you something. Every time they holler about they want vote and all this history, have they ever thought the thought that the only people that were ever prosecuted for trying to steal an election were Republicans? That's the only people we got on record that were arrested and convicted. You haven't found one liberal or Democrat arrested or convicted for stealing or trying to do fraud.
Say contest because TikTok don't like when you keep saying the E word. I hate it. So I've had to bow down. I believe in zero censorship, but they've been, flagged alive for talking about the 2020 contest. So just say contest. But yeah, I believe there may have been a Democrat or two in some corners of the country that have been arrested for voter issue or contest issues, but you are correct. Most of the well-known issues at the higher levels, like the Rudolph Giuliani's and the fake electors, most of that stuff has all been conservative.
Yeah. It was rigged. They did a dismal job because the Republicans won. I agree with you. I do give Trump credit. He did screw up the economy in the first term as much as he's doing right now.
Yeah, well, because
he win on that one.
Because I think Trump came closer to his campaign promise the first time than he did the second time, and that is, I'm going to surround myself with the best and brightest. The people who surrounded Trump in his first administration were far more. They had far more talent, experience, and education than the people he got surrounding him now. The people that are surrounding him now are totally based on loyalty. Their resumes be down because Pete Hegseth and some of them folks have much of a resume. The guy he has now that was his lawyer they're trying to put over the head of the DOJ. These folks don't have a serious resume. They have a serious promise of being loyal to him. His first administration, them folks were in Washington for years before Trump came. Those folks were the real deal. and they were preventing him from doing stuff that was unconstitutional or wrong. They cared about their legacies. They cared about their careers. This group now, as long as you'll pardon me, sir, I got your back.
Yep, I definitely agree with you. This is the biggest DEI administration I ever seen. These guys are totally DEI. I mean, just look through it. To be honest, that's what they are.
Yeah, I tell you, Elon Musk got a whole department, Doge. Elon Musk doesn't have, that's not his point of expertise. He's not HR. There's no way he should have been doing that.
Yeah, that's true. And we still ain't seen that Doge money yet. I appreciate you bringing me up, Tim. I watch a lot of time. I agree with you on some things, not all things, but I do think you're fair in what you do.
Thank you. And I'll take that as a compliment. Come on back anytime. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anytime. Appreciate it. Tap the screen. Get your boys up to 50,000. Just not a lot of love. Help your boy out with the hat mustache TikTok cap goals. I'll keep TikTok cap is at 0. Wow. Help your boy out with the hat mustache TikTok cap goals, if you will. In the comments, if you make over 60K, you get a very small amount less in taxes, but you lose it in health coverage. Yeah, and I've been saying it to some of my MAGA viewers that are criticizing socialism and all of that stuff and bragging about Trump, no tax on tips and all that. Giving a person that's barely struggling a tax cut does very little for them because they're not making much to begin with. And oftentimes the tax cuts is something they're not going to realize until it's time to file at the end of the year. Like the no tax on tips, you're not making a bunch of money on tips and getting to keep it. No, that goes when you file at the end of the year. And even then it's limited, I think, to 25K or maybe even less. But you're not going to be, if you're working at a restaurant where people are paying $100 a plate or something like that, you know, and they're tipping you 20% of that. So let's say you're working at a restaurant where the average person is spending $50 to eat, and they're regularly tipping you the common 20%. So that means your average customer is tipping you $10. So they sit down with a partner, so that's $100, and they're tipping you 20. Chances are by the end of the year, you may have made more in tips than no tax on tips will cover. There's a ceiling to that. They're not going to cover all of those. They're not going to let you get away with no tax on all of those tips. There's a ceiling to it. So it ain't as great as they make it sound. It's not unlimited. So just want to point that out. In the comments, though, in health coverage, what exactly do you mean? Well, if a person has employer-provided health coverage, they're still paying co-pays and deductibles. A lot of things you get done, your health care may not even cover. Maybe your doctor thinks you need a CAT scan or an MRI. And your health provider is more focused on saving money than saving your life. So they're going to come up with reasons to tell you, we don't cover that. So you as an employee got to find a way to make that happen out of your salary. Women who give birth now can regularly expect to come home with big bills. You don't generally give birth and have no bills at all once you're done. You get health bills. You get health care coverage bills today. So yeah, you can actually be working and not be able to cover that shit. It happens a lot. In the comments, wait until the oil reserves run out. Shit going to get real, but hey, short-term pain for long-term gain. Well, here's the problem though, Jeff D. My guess is, knowing Trump, if the oil reserves get low, they may find another country and just start a war and take it from them. I mean, that's kind of what Trump's method of operation is it not? You know, I mean, I could easily see, he threatened to make Gaza the Riviera of the Middle East. He threatened to take Greenland just because he claims it's a matter of national security. If he's willing to take Greenland for something that Greenland has nothing to do, he's saying that if Russia or China fires weapons at America, they may fly over Greenland. Therefore, we need to take their country so that we can protect our own. Well, if our oil reserves run, expect him to threaten the countries that have oil. I mean, this is what he's doing. So if our oil reserves start to run low, expect President Trump to start coming up with reasons why some country that may be able to help us out is suddenly becoming an enemy. I really hate bringing up Adolf and shit like this, but that is really Third Reich Adolf type shit. Just making enemies out of nothing because you need them for something. But he clearly is doing that with Greenland. Greenland is a friend to the United States. Trump is trying to just make an enemy out of Greenland for no reason at all. So yeah, if the oil reserves start running low, other countries, maybe weaker countries that have enough to help us get by, expect Trump to start coming up with reasons why that country's suddenly turning into an enemy. I would feel confident that there's a good chance he may do that. Anyway, continue on with the program. We're fighting a war for no legitimate reason. Nothing good will come out of this, says CBOG Kush. Well, depends on who you talk to, though, because Trump has folks convinced it is a legitimate reason. He has folks convinced that Iran not only is trying to get their hands on a nuke, but they're going to use it if they do. My guess is we've given Iran more incentive to develop a nuke and use it than they've ever had before. Because now President Trump broke a deal that they had made with us that kept things kind of peaceful. If I'm Iran, why would you make a deal with the United States? Why would you make a deal with President Trump? He's shown you that if the next president comes along and thinks it's a dumb deal, he's just going to break it. We're all over the place talking about how you can't trust Iran. They don't stick to deals. Meanwhile, President Trump just broke a deal with Iran. Why would you make a deal with America? He just proved all you need is a president that don't like it, and he's just going to break it. I really think we have things backwards when we claim you can't trust Iran when we're doing exactly the stuff we're complaining and suggesting they do. Trump's the last. I saw that in the comments. Real quick, tap the screen. I spent $100 on gifts. Thank you, as a conservative. Time to put. I gotta verify it first. I haven't seen that. You trying to get me to put on the MAGA hat? I gotta verify it first as a conservative. 50 years of this same stuff to Iran. Yeah, unfortunately. Why any nation would deal with us after Trump, some of the deals was his own. America elected Trump to office after Trump did a lot of things that you normally would not expect America to be favorable to. So if I'm Iran, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that like, you know, your country is kind of on the fritz right now. I mean, why would you trust us? That's my opinion. The big beautiful bill also makes drastic cuts to Medicaid and Medicare starting in 2027. Yeah. And that's a great question being asked in the comments. Get us up to 50,000. I'll take the next caller. We're pretty much there. What happened to the people first, says Satoya James. I don't know why MAGA is not speaking out loudly in regards to what you just said. What happened to America first? That absolutely is not happening under President Trump. He absolutely is not governing from a standpoint of America first. We could make the argument that preventing Iran from getting a nuke and trying to hurt us is America first. But Cuba, that ain't America first. What we did in Venezuela was not America first. No, some of that stuff is not. I mean, some of that stuff is a real big stretch. He is not operating from America first. I agree with that. Let me go. Thank you, Kyle, for the eagle on you. Gotta go to the next caller. On the poll, 2 more soldiers gone. Is Trump to blame? Still, we got about 150 respondents now. It's so fairly where we were. 65% say yes, Trump is to blame for 2 soldiers losing their lives. 2 more soldiers lost their lives. Let me go back to the box. Would love to cruise. If Obama would do what Trump had done, he would have been gone. I would have been gone too. Love to cruise. Good evening.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Yeah, I'm well aware of that. And,
is Gangsta Grandma Spanish? She don't normally do that. Do somebody say Gangsta Grandma Spanish? No, go ahead. So, do you believe
Yeah, absolutely. When you start a war, then everything falls on you. If things had went really good, who's going to take the credit then?
Great point. That's a great point.
You know, so yeah, he got to take the credit for that.
Yeah. Wow. Listen, what?
Well, yeah, they're culture. Of course, they're going to disagree. Ain't negative. They're going to disagree with them. You know, just like I got to push back on one thing. Not trying to get off the subject, but you made mention of the economy. Trump is the luckiest motherfucker there is as far as president. He never had to build that economy that he inherited. He messed it up. With Obama, he inherited a good economy, you know, and he messed that up. Biden, the economy is on the rebound, and what has he done? He's messed it up. So it isn't that he does good with the economy. No, he has two good economies that he has messed up.
I kind of wonder. I mean, because he did promise to bring down grocery prices on day one and cut your energy bills in half. And do you think he actually ever meant to do that stuff?
No, he had dumbasses like you believe he's gonna get the club.
Why I gotta be the dumbass? No, but I mean, if you look at how he's governing, I mean, he promised to bring rent prices in half. Like, what is he even attempted to do that indicated he was trying to bring down the price of rents in America? He ain't done anything. He even went against the housing bill. Like, you said you were going to bring down rents. I mean, I haven't seen anything he's done in 2 years to indicate he's not tried to propose anything. He's not talked about it. He hasn't done anything.
But he's done nothing for the middle class or the poor people. Now, if you're rich, that's your due, because that's the only people he take care of is the rich. He doesn't care about the middle class. By the time, if he stays the way he's going, by the time the new election comes around, it's going to be two classes, poor and rich. There's going to be no middle class.
Do you think the Democrats would change that though? Because the wealth divide was growing, not growing as fast as Trump, but it was growing under the Democrats as well.
You know what? I gotta be honest with you. The Democrats getting on my damn nerves. They don't. And honestly, I don't think they're fighting like they should fight. The big beautiful bill. You gotta realize some of the Democrats are going to benefit from that bill also. So, do I think that they're fighting the way they should? Absolutely not. Some of the stuff Trump is doing, yeah, they disagree with. But when it comes to money and everything, no. Well, I got shut up, Grandma.
I seen the comment, somebody said, you people need to change topics. Politics subject for you. Well, help enlighten us, Black Ninja, I think it says. Why don't you help us out? Give us what we're missing out on. Republicans and Democrats are both the same. They don't care about you. I had a viewer that says Republicans and Democrats are both the same. Neither side cares about you. Do you subscribe to that theory?
At first I didn't, but I'm starting to. I really am. I'm really starting to. You know, like I say, this is a prime opportunity for the Democrats to show the United States that they care, and it's going to be a change, you know, come November. I don't see where they're making that voice loud. You know, Trump makes it loud. And you know this motherfucker here. You know, to sit up there and have a address talking about the election is this and that, and you're the winner of it. You know, I mean,
well, but he's not talking about the election he won. He's talking about the contest he lost in 2020.
Yeah, well, anyway, it doesn't make any sense to me. You know, if it was rigged in 20, it was rigged last year. I mean, when he got in, there is no difference. Yeah. But you got in, and MAGA falls for it all the time.
I don't get that though. Why? I'll pass it to you. Maybe you can help I'll just let you say whatever, but why do you think MAGA falls for that? I mean, it's been almost 6 years. If what he said happened, why is it that MAGA requires so little proof? I get there's something here and there that looks suspicious, or it's hard to believe that Biden would have got more folks cast votes than Obama. I get that some things look suspicious. But in terms of solid evidence that Trump is saying is true, that he by a landslide, nothing has been presented in MAGA. Why is that?
I don't have the slightest idea. I guess the only thing I can figure is the lack of intelligence and the cult. That's the only thing I can figure. I mean, all the evidence says opposite of what he's saying. But for some reason, they want to, I mean, even make a basketball game. The only reason they're doing it because they're down 1 point. Man, shut the fuck up.
He does say that. He does say that.
Yeah, you know, shut the fuck up.
Here's what I don't get. Here's something I don't get. When we go to voting in November, you're not just voting for your congressman or your senator. And certainly in 2024, we didn't just vote for Trump or Kamala Harris. You're voting for city councilmen. You're voting for, bills. Maybe the central business district wants to build a parking garage, and you're voting yay or nay or legalizing marijuana. There's a whole lot of things you vote for in a big national election like that. And MAGA and President Trump, they're all saying that this was taken from Trump. What about all the other Republican senators and congressmen that won in 2020? That means they won by fraud. Ain't none of that being mentioned by MAGA at all.
Exactly, and it is not going to be, because it doesn't present their case.
Yeah.
If they bring up all the congressmen and everything, then they're taking away from their argument.
Yeah.
They can't bring that up. And then some of them did. A lot of MAGA, I think, so stupid all they for is the presidency anyway.
Well, no, I would assume that they may vote a straight Republican ticket, but I think everybody that goes to vote, they vote for more than just the person at the top of the ticket. Like, we're going to vote for the mid now. There's going to be all kinds of other legislation and bills and stuff you're voting for. You're not just voting for one person, but they make it sound like only one person's strategic at this taken from him, even though all the other thousands of politicians that were involved in it.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I really don't understand. I can't figure it out for the life of me how this man can say this and you agree with everything he says. Taking away health care and this and that. And a lot of them are sick. But it's okay. Take it. Fucking kill us, man. We love you.
I hope it ain't that bad. Damn.
Man, come on. They think the man is Jesus.
Well, to some degree, the man himself thinks he's Jesus. He's posted pictures of himself as Jesus.
Man, that man don't think that shit. He didn't even take the vows on the Bible. Come on. I already knew he's gonna be.
How can one man do it? I want to be Trump. I'm jealous. How can one man get that powerful?
You want to be Trump?
Shit, yeah, I do.
Well, then you be going to hell too.
Oh no! Come on now, you can't.
Real. You don't want to be Trump.
What do you?
Nobody in the world likes us no more. We're laughing stocks. I mean, they laugh at the man. And everything that he says, and this is how you know the motherfucker guilty. Everything he says happens is because he's doing it himself.
The man likes to take credit for shit. I mean, the man likes to.
No, I'm telling you, Tim, just listen to it. Things that he says, the election fraud. I bet my last dollar and yours too that he's the one that has election fraud.
What do you mean?
He tells on himself indirectly.
Oh, you mean he's accusing folks of what he actually is doing himself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Everything he says, the Democrats are doing this and that. He's the one, and he tries to point blame at them to cover up himself.
Well, I mean, look, when it comes to Find Me 11,000 or January 6th or the Save America Act, Yeah, it is hard to just get up here and say I don't think Trump has done anything immoral or even I don't think he's done anything criminal in regards to elections. Yeah, it does look like he's trying to do fraudulent stuff. He's way involved in doing way too much that a president should be hands off. And I mean, like you're calling the governor and saying, "Find me 11,000 votes in an election." You can't make a pressure call like that. I mean, obviously the governor did that as a high pressure call. The president wants you to find out you shouldn't be on the phone with this guy in the middle of them counting votes.
Exactly. And it's just one of many. You know, the thing about it, he always does something new. And you think about the shit he's already, I mean, he does so much stuff where if we really went back and went over it, everybody should be sick to their stomach that this man has done it.
You realize they saw Kamala Harris as trying to destroy the country, though, right?
Of course. Why wouldn't you? If you're against it, that's the argument you're going to bring. But you keep on saying, and that's what else pisses me off, man. Stop saying this shit.
What am I saying?
Wait, hold on. She was not a bad candidate.
She was a bad
She
candidate.
ran a bad campaign. There's a difference. There's a total difference in running a bad campaign and being a bad candidate. She's not a bad candidate.
Explain that. Explain that to me.
She's got more years in the government than probably, except for the exception of Biden, than Trump, Obama, and Bush combined.
Okay.
Maybe Bush on the borderline, but she is not a bad. She just got caught. Now, because she did a lot of other things, yeah. Because she had came out earlier, yes. Was she aggressive enough? No. But that's her fault. But that is not a bad candidate. She just ran a bad campaign.
To me,
for things that she should have did, she didn't.
I get the way you're differentiating the words, and I don't totally disagree with you. But the reason I say Kamala Harris is a bad candidate is because I don't believe being a politician is solely in reference to your resume. Because if you compare the resume of Kamala Harris, she probably is more qualified than anything we've seen in recent memory. Certainly more qualified on paper than Obama. Now, Biden's been in Washington since he was in his 20s, so Biden has more qualifications than anybody. But I believe she was more qualified than Trump because if you look at her resume going from a district attorney to the attorney general of a state to U.S. senator of a state to vice president of the country to now trying to go for president, her resume looks like a stepping stone to becoming the nation's, you can look at her resume and say, this person is really going somewhere. But as a candidate, your job is also to sell yourself to the people. That particular aspect of being a candidate, she was not good in. She was not. I still don't think, even among the minority community, they weren't really keen on Kamala Harris. Remember, she ran for president before 2024, and she didn't even do well in the primaries. Even the African American community was not really keen on Kamala Harris. She didn't sell herself to the people very well.
Well, the thing about that is, yes, she ran before, and she didn't sell herself. But there were numerous candidates when she was running, that just sold themselves better. Against Trump, one-on-one, she's the better candidate. She said some things, and I understand, like when she said she wouldn't change nothing
from Biden
that Biden did.
Yeah.
Okay. By saying you would, you might lose a lot of Biden support.
No, you got to know how to speak. That's all you got to do.
Maybe so. Maybe so, but at the time, you're coming in with how many days? 100 days or whatever it was.
Yeah, but come on now, Luther Cruz. Trump's coattails was asked when they were trying to primary Trump, him and Chris Christie and Tim Scott and Ron DeSantis and all of them, during that debate, Vivek Ramaswamy was asked, what would you do differently than Trump? Because he's one that had never criticized Trump. He had a decent answer for it. How could Kamala Harris run for president and not be expected to be asked, what are you going to do different from your boss? You know people going to ask that.
Well, you know what? Like I said, she was aggressive at the debate. She walloped his ass at the debate.
Yeah.
And that aggression should have carried on to the campaign. But after she walloped his ass in the debate, she didn't keep on with it. She didn't carry that momentum. She slowed down and backed up instead of going more aggressive at him. And if she had him, she probably would have had a better chance of beating him.
Well, let me just say what I think most of us probably can agree on. Biden hurt her by not stepping down sooner, especially after that June 27 debate. You still telling people you're going to run as late as August. That was at least 2 more months that Kamala Harris should have been around. Biden should have been a one-term president like many thought he was going to be. But to stay in there as long as he did, and then to go out there and debate as bad as he did, and then try to convince people that he still was capable of running for 2 months, all that's valuable time Kamala Harris could have been using to refine her candidacy and be better at selling herself.
You're absolutely right. Biden messed that up,
Yep.
and we did too. When he made the State of the Union address, excuse me, he did seem sharp. And then maybe 4 months later after that, all of that got lost right there. And he should have, in between there, I do think he got sick. And probably didn't have no business.
Then you don't go out there.
That's what I'm about to say. Probably should have postponed the debate until he's feeling better.
In my opinion, by the time Biden debated Trump in June of 2024, it wasn't going to change anybody's hearts and minds. It's kind of like when Trump went on TV the other day trying to promote the Save America Act, talking about the 2020 election. That didn't change nobody's hearts and minds. I mean, everybody who saw that shit, if you're MAGA, you believe the liberals took it. If you're anything other than MAGA, you believe Trump was full of shit when you saw that. And it was no need for Trump to go on TV and give this out. It didn't change anybody's hearts and minds. And there really was no need for Biden to go debate Trump. You were not going to say anything against Trump that was going to sway MAGA and get them to vote for you. I mean, if Biden had completely skipped that debate, it wouldn't have changed anybody's decision on who they were going to vote for.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah. If he had skipped the debate and got well and came at Trump later, you could have got all the people that were on the borderline, on the fence.
Who would be on the fence between Trump and Biden?
There were a lot of people on the fence. He would have carried seven of the battleground states. They were all on the fence. All those states were on the fence. So yeah, if he had came later, he may have got 4 or 5 of those states.
I actually believe if Biden had skipped debating Trump, he would have done better. Because it's one thing for people to you got dementia and shit versus going on TV and kind of proving it to him. If he didn't do that, you would have had like the George Clooney's and Nancy Pelosi's. That those folks would have still been riding on him. Once they saw what he did on June 27, they turned against him on his team.
That's true, but then all those people also jumped on Kamala. So what difference did it make?
I think that Kamala Harris, I mean, she's a woman, she's African American, she's unknown compared to Biden. I don't think they all went with Kamala Harris is the point I'm making.
Possibly, but I do agree with you on this one. The upcoming election, I think we better have if we're going to win, I think we should have a white man up there.
I agree.
I don't think America is ready for a woman, much less a black woman.
What about Pete Buttigieg? He's a white man.
I can roll with him.
He's gay.
Yeah, I know. We have to keep that. You gotta realize the person that Trump would be done. I don't think whoever comes in after Trump is gonna be as vulgar
Yeah, but Trump ain't leaving though, Lada Cruz. He's still gonna be campaigning and saying the same shit.
He ain't gonna be. He gonna be worried about them. By that time, if the midterms come in and the Democrats win like they're supposed to, he's gonna be worried about his ass staying out of prison.
The man's gonna.
Now, do I think he'll ever go to prison? No, but I do think he's gonna be required to pay a lot of that money back.
That's possible. I gotta move it on for time, but that is very possible. I could. I mean, not to mention E. Jean Carroll wants her piece as well. Love the Cruz. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Tap the screen. Help your boy out with the hat, mustache, TikTok cap goals. I don't think that's going to happen, but tap the screen and we'll grift with it anyway. In the comments, never been to Africa. I'm American more than you. Yeah, what are you guys talking about? Trump's speech Thursday night was to convince no one. It's just a pretext to interfere in the midterms. And that is what most folks, the political analysts, are saying exactly what you just said there in the comments, is that it's a pretext to kind of lay the ground, what do you call it, the ground map or whatever, to present those excuses later. We'll go to Handsome Conservative. Good evening.
I am. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. Loud and clear.
All right, I got something to say for you here.
Sure.
All right. The liberal and conservatives are alike in one way, or excuse me, different in one way. The liberals are more deceitful.
The liberals are more
to their
deceitful.
party. Deceitful to their party. They lie to you and tell you what you want to hear,
And you don't
and then they don't deliver.
I don't know, because I look at all of I could just off the top of the dome give you all sorts of campaign promises that Trump made. And not to mention all the stuff he's saying about the Iran war. I think Trump is doing exactly what you're saying the liberals do.
See, I got a different view because I've seen all the promises that were made over the years, the universal health care, the programs that were supposed to come out, the help for single moms. None of that shit ever came out.
Yeah, but you
They're
can't.
always taking the money from their donors, just like the conservatives do, and they don't deliver on their promise.
But wait a minute, you're trying to hold the liberals accountable for promising universal health care and stuff like this, not delivering. If Obama had his way, we would have full universal health care. That's Republican resistance that's stopping that stuff. I don't think you can just go at the Democrats and say that you guys didn't deliver on your promise, because they absolutely tried. You guys are constantly calling them socialists.
All right, and my second thing I wanted to say is, as a conservative, I just upped your gifts to $100. Put on the hat.
I didn't know that. I do appreciate that. I gotta see it. I gotta verify it. You may be talking shit.
I have not lied to you, man. $100 I spent.
Okay.
I want to see a clip with you wearing the hat.
All right. Well, after the live, I'll verify anything before we're talking now, because today has been the opposite. You've been the only one doing that, because I mentioned the hat, mustache, TikTok cap goals. Right now, the TikTok cap is sitting at 0. So this has not been a very generous audience at all. So if you've done that, I'll verify.
This hat or no hat. I promise you this. I heard what you said, so I'm
Thank you,
getting
Marty.
$100 worth of gifts on you with the inflatable tube man and all that shit.
Okay. I'll verify it. But getting into the actual topics of the show, and thank you, somebody is doing that. Debo, appreciate that. Thank you. Blood on Trump's
I'll
hands.
accept the show.
Blood on Trump. You believe that we've lost 2 more people, and I think like at least 1 or 2 of them are missing, so this number could increase. Do you believe that the 2 dead service personnel that just died over the last 24 hours, do you think that equates to blood on Trump's hands? Do you hold Trump responsible for their deaths?
Absolutely not. I hold the Iraqis or the Iranians responsible for their deaths. They're the ones that killed them.
You don't place the blame at somebody else's feet. You place the blame at the person that's holding the gun to your head.
Rapid. Thank you, Rapid Reports. Appreciate that. Well, then I gotta add it. So in other words, you think Trump was wrong for blaming Biden for the 13 dead leaving Afghanistan?
No, what I think is I think that the two guys that you're talking about, because I saw a video today about that. The two guys you're talking about, and they said there probably was a lot more killed than just two.
Yeah.
But those two guys, the responsibility lies at the people who killed them.
Right.
Not Donald Trump.
Okay, so the people that
Biden isn't the president. You say all the time.
no, I'm trying to figure out what is the consistency of this, because Trump in recent times is still blaming Biden for those deaths. It ain't like we're going all the way back to Biden's term to dig this up. Trump still does this stuff.
Are you saying Trump is blaming Biden for the two deaths that just happened?
No.
I'm talking about that.
No, I'm saying Trump blamed Biden for deaths that happened when Biden was president. Is that accurate?
Trump blamed. No, that wouldn't be accurate. The person who kills the soldiers are the ones that are responsible
Right.
for their deaths. The blame goes on this time the Iranians, excuse me. The Iranians, the ones that shot the missiles off and killed them. They're the ones that killed them. Now, you cannot like Trump and you cannot like Biden. That's fine. But you can't blame somebody that didn't kill them. You have to blame the person who actually killed them.
No, and I get that if it was consistent, because what I'm saying is I haven't heard anybody that supported Trump that was saying at the time during that botched evacuation in Afghanistan, you can't blame Biden for it. You got to blame the people that took their life. Because Trump said it, and like I said, ain't nobody told Trump you can't blame Biden for it. You got to blame the people that took their lives. They didn't say that.
Look, I can't help what other people have told you, but I have told you from the get-go, I am not Republican, I am not MAGA, and I sure as hell will never be a Democrat. So I'm a conservative.
Are you sure?
So I can't help but what other people say.
Are you
But
sure?
I'm telling you from my point of view, if you walked up and put a gun to my head and shot me, you're the one that killed me, you're responsible.
But wait a minute.
If the Iranian...
You're saying you are not MAGA. I got folks that have stated on the live stream here that you were seen in other places saying that Trump is the best president ever. Has that ever come from your account?
Sure, absolutely it did. And I'll tell you where it happened. It happened right here. And the only reason I was doing it was to piss off Gangster Grandma. You know we have a love-hate relationship.
Okay.
It's not real. This is a show.
Okay.
This is just have fun.
So
but come on. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be real for a second. All games stop. If somebody kills you, do you blame the president that didn't do it, or do you blame the person that killed you?
Well,
I mean, you see what I'm saying?
No, I disagree. I got to push for that. If somebody takes my life, and let's say, for instance, somebody's trying to get in my house and try to take my life, and I dial 911, and the cops take 10 times longer than they normally do to respond to a call. Now, the person who got in my home hurt me, but I'm going to blame the police as well for doing a piss poor job.
Well, look, man, I'm just trying to be honest with you. I mean, I get this is your show. I get you got to push back. You do that on the Democrats, too. That's why I respect you. But the bottom line is the Iranians killed them. The Iranians are responsible. That you do the crime, you're the one that's responsible. Not no one else. And as far as it goes, I don't think he was responsible for the death. He didn't kill him.
So you don't
Okay?
think? So you
I'm
don't
gonna
think
be
him?
even right down the field?
Right. So that means you don't think he was responsible for Benghazi?
Did they kill him?
No.
Did they kill the soldiers?
No.
Well, then they're not responsible for their death.
All right.
I mean, now you can disagree whether they should have been sent over there or not. You don't. Is they did not is the person that's responsible, and if anybody else tells you differently, then they're full of shit.
Yeah, but
They're lying to you, Tim.
here's where I think that you're going to get a lot of folks that disagree with you, including yours.
I don't care.
Yeah, I get that. That's why we're having a conversation. But the point I'm making is, if you send me somewhere as a soldier that I don't have a choice whether I would go or not, and you send me wrongfully into harm's way and something happened to me, yeah, my family is not going to just blame it on the person. I wouldn't be there if you didn't send me there.
Disagree 100%.
Yeah.
I respect the soldiers. I respect the soldiers. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. I have nothing but love for the soldiers. But when you signed up, you agreed to go anywhere you were sent. So you're not being put in harm. You agreed to be in harm's way. There's no such thing as joining. And there's going to be a war sooner or later. If you don't know that, when you sign up, you better not sign up.
Well,
the
that's
person who killed those guys are the person who is responsible, and that's Iran.
some of that is unique to some of that's unique to the U.S. military, because you can sign up to be part of the military in most countries, and you're not guaranteed to be sent to war.
We're talking about the U.S. military.
That's because we in the U.S. unnecessarily get involved in wars over and over again. That's why you're guaranteed to be in war, because we keep doing it unnecessarily.
I agree. Some of the wars that we get involved in are unnecessary. Signed up and you went over to where you were placed. That's the decision you made. Now, with the other thing, they shot off the missiles. They killed those two men. They're responsible. Nothing has changed.
Hey, wait a minute. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If a cop agrees to join the police force, and they know being a cop, it can come with violence. That's part of being a cop. And they're dispatched to my home, and I take the life of that cop. Is the cop? Am I not responsible for it? I mean, he knew what he was signing up for.
You just said what I said. First of all, if the cop signs up to be a cop and he knows that there could be danger or death in being a cop, that's a choice that he made. You killing that cop for whatever reason, I don't know what the reason is, you're still responsible because you killed the cop. They killed the soldier. It's the same thing. They signed up for it, but they did get murdered by the opposition, the Iranians.
And
the Iranians killed them.
And even if they are wrongfully sent in the way, the person who wrongfully did it takes no blame, because they knew it could happen.
How are you wrongfully sent? You signed up for the military. When you sign up for the military, you go where you are told to go.
Right.
Do what you are told to do.
Okay, but the military. So you're telling me there's nothing wrong with them? If you're in control of the military, you can't make any wrong decisions. You can't send them anywhere they shouldn't be.
They're only sent where they should be. We are at war.
No, they're not.
With Iran.
We were not at war. We were not. No.
We are at war
No.
with Iran.
No.
They are responsible to be there.
You're right. We were not at war. We started a war with Iran. They were not at war with us. We started a war with them.
But we are at war with Iran.
So they,
Whether they started it or we started it isn't the issue. The issue is we started the war, they signed up for the military, and Iran killed them. That is what happened.
so
You don't have to like it, but you can't deny it.
So based on what you're saying, if Adolf Hitler makes up a bullshit reason to go and attack Poland, and Poland strikes some of the soldiers in self-defense, you're blaming Poland. You're not blaming Hitler for wrongfully doing that.
Let me ask you a question.
You didn't answer that
Is
question.
Hitler in charge of the military?
Yes.
And if Hitler is in charge of the military, did the soldiers agree to sign up and go into the military?
Yes, they did sign
Because
up.
if they did, then they are not wrongfully where they're supposed to be. They're at where their president told them to be. They're following the orders
That's
of their
crazy.
president.
So
Our guys are following the orders of the president.
but based
It's
on what
the same
you're
thing.
saying,
I don't like Hitler.
yeah, but based on what you're saying is if as long as you sign up to join the military, the president or whoever controls the military, there's no such thing as them sending you to a place that you shouldn't be. Anywhere they send you, hey,
That's right.
that's crazy.
That's right. But it's true, Tim. Come on, man.
No, it's not.
You signed up for the... Look, I love my... God rest his soul. I love my stepfather, Curtis. He signed up for the military. He not one time did he ever say, no, sir, I'm not going to go there. I don't agree with the president. I don't believe I should be put harm's way. He signed up for the military. He did his duty like a soldier, and he came home alive. Now, these guys didn't come home alive because they were murdered by the enemy that we are at war with. And all of that is facts. Mic drop.
Yeah. Now you can pick that microphone back up because according to you, the Ukrainians are responsible for any Russian that dies. Putin gets no blame at all because, hey, they signed up for the military. I mean, you're wrong for sending them into the Ukraine. You're making it sound like anybody that dispatches the military, well, because they agreed to join, there's no such thing as you sent them to the wrong place. Hey, they knew they could be at war when they joined.
The Ukrainians signed up for the military to defend their country.
That ain't what I'm
and
talking
their
about.
land back
That ain't
from
what
the
I'm saying.
Russians.
I'm saying Russians. Russians signed up for the military and they got wrongfully sent into Ukraine to take over somebody else's country that was doing nothing wrong. So now all of a sudden, if the Ukrainians kill Russian soldiers in self-defense, we're not going to blame Putin for putting them there. We're only going to blame the Ukrainians for shooting them in self-defense.
Ukrainians for defending their land. They didn't invade
Do you blame?
Russia.
Who do you blame for their deaths? If Russia invades the Ukrainians wrongfully, and some of the Russian soldiers get killed in that wrongful invasion, who do you blame for their deaths?
I would blame the person who killed them. If the person killed, if the Iranians killed Russians, yes, the Russians were invading their land and they had the authority to kill them.
That's crazy.
But at the same time, the Iranians are they're trying to take their country back. That's what they're trying to do.
Listen, we obviously can agree to disagree, but to me, if you're trying to do something to me and you're wrong for doing it, and I kill you in self-defense, and you're saying, well, I'm the only one that gets blamed because I killed you. No, the person that sent you to do what you were doing to me wrongfully is the person that gets blamed because you didn't have a choice.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
All right. Here's my question for you. If you yourself signed up for the military, okay, I don't know if you ever have, but let's just say you do tomorrow, and you get in, are you going to tell them where you want to go? Are you going to tell them no, that I won't go there because I'll be what?
No, you keep that to yourself. You can think your commanding officer is a total fucking idiot, but you're not allowed to say it out loud. But in my mind, I'm going to be voicing those complaints. I just can't do nothing about it.
Right. So if you don't want to go overseas to another country and possibly possibly be put in harm's way, don't sign up for the military, because that's the job.
Okay. People do not sign up to the military to be involved in terroristic actions, to go and set fires to villages and burn women and children. You're making it sound like no matter
terroristic actions because you're a Democrat. There's another side to look at this. We're at war right now. They're shooting at us, we're shooting at them. Okay?
They're firing in self-defense.
They killed
No,
us.
they're firing it. No, Iran is firing in self-defense. We're on their territory. We're committing the act of terror to them. They're at home. We're killing them in their home.
I disagree. We're not on their territory. Our bases are in other countries, and they're shooting their missiles into other countries to hit our bases. And that's been on the news. CNN, MSNBC, Fox, even News Nation, which I watched the other day for the presidential thing.
Okay.
News Nation. They're shooting our bases in other countries.
Wow. In the comments, Dencal says the blame goes to the president who did not defend his people after attacking a country we knew would respond by attacking our assets. You're talking about those assets, Bahrain and Jordan and those surrounding countries. If you take a jet and you take off a bomber, you take off from Bahrain with full intentions of dropping bombs on Tehran, and then you go and land back in Bahrain after dropping those bombs. What are you saying? It's wrong to bomb Bahrain where that jet is at?
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying they're responsible for the deaths that they committed. Okay. They shot the missiles. They killed the soldiers. Nobody is responsible for those deaths but the person who killed them. Okay. That's it.
So even if
black and white.
Even if the deaths are only in self-defense, you still hold a person acting in self-defense responsible, right?
If you murder somebody, if you shoot them, kill them, hit them with a missile, you are responsible for their death. Whether the courts decide that you are in the right or the wrong is a whole different subject.
Okay.
You killed that person, you are responsible.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree. I got to move it on. We'll see let's see. Maybe history will judge things the way you're saying. I doubt it, but we'll agree to disagree. Thank you for the support.
All right. Hey, I'm going to leave. Support your local liberal and put on that hat.
We'll be talking soon. Handsome Conservative, thank you for coming through. All right. Tap the screen in the comments. What does that say? The caller is doing Trump's apologetic. He knows all he said is stupid. I hope you sissies have a fantastic day. Says don't recommend. Why are we being referred to as sissies? Let me know in the comments. I don't know why that's being said. Back to the box. Guy like this is the reason why we don't. Hold on, hang on. Guy like this is the reason to defend slow country. I don't kind of get what you're saying. Democrats want Iran to win. They hate America. Yikes. Do you hate America, Gangsta Grandma?
Do I what?
You hate America.
I hate you right now, yes. You had me holding for 2 fucking hours.
How did
so
that?
tell me why before I go off on your black ass, the other black ass I was in on your thing and the white boy. Let me go. It cost me over $1,000 to stay at a hotel downtown. You know that?
I know. I know it ain't. I know it ain't cheap. You're downtown. Wait, hold on. Look, there's a lot of places to stay in Chicago that are not downtown. You picked the most premium area.
Well, yeah, I'm a premium woman.
Well,
yeah.
then shut the fuck up and pay the money then.
I didn't put some rappers on me, bitch. Damn what?
I mean, you could have stayed near the port.
I say room.
Oh.
Because we'll go live in a room. Live.
We'll talk about we'll talk about
it. Cable.
All right,
we got
don't get it involved.
We're gonna go live together.
Okay. All right, we'll talk outside of this show. Anyway, and I see.
Oh, you have to add me.
Okay,
okay.
let's get into the actual. Let's get into the topics of the
Okay,
show.
now let's get back into this shit. I'm gonna go up on all your ugly asses. The idiot that was here before, the black dude. Oh, Democrats are just like the Republicans. No, we are the fuck not. Let's get into it. You numbnut. That's why he likes the uneducated and stupid idiots like you guys. Said, oh, they're the same. No, we're not. Democrats are not trying to take Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps away from the poor. They're not trying to take shit away from us like that. Your beloved maggots are doing that. But no, we are not. You guys always want to hold the Democrats to a higher standard when they're not.
How the hell that happened?
Wait, let me tell you guys this. When we are not in power, they really can't do a lot. They can't. But they did stop the SAVE Act. You guys want them to do everything, but we don't have no power. So go get your fucking life, Negro. Then you have another guy. Then you have a white boy. I ain't never voted a day in my life. You see, that's white privilege right there. Like he said, he don't care who's in office. That's white privilege. He don't give a damn black and brown people. That was white privilege right there.
Well, I don't know if it's white privilege. I mean,
It's white privilege.
Yes. I'll tell you why I say I don't know if it's white privilege. I don't know if Trump is doing anything to make his life better either.
He doesn't care. That's what's called white privilege. When you do not give a fuck about the next person and you're only worried about yourself and you're a white team man, that is white privilege. Like you said, he doesn't. He doesn't give a damn. He don't give a damn who it is in office. You know why? Because he don't think he'll get affected by it.
What do you
Is white privilege.
What do you call a black man that only gives a shit about himself and nobody else?
I never heard of black privilege, but they're idiots too.
Yeah, you can have black privilege.
I never heard of that. I don't know where
because we don't focus.
You know what, Tim? You're always up the white man's ass. Go get tonsil tickled
What is
before
it-
I get down there.
what is this-
At least turn black before I get down there. You know what I mean?
What does this got to
For
do
the
with?
love of God.
What does this got to do with black privilege? I mean, what?
Because
Wait, hold on. No, that ain't what I meant to say. That ain't what I meant to say. What I meant to say is, what's got to do with Kevin for the white man or whatever you're talking about?
Because you always like, well, what about white? But what about black men? What about this? You always want to flip the script when I'm talking about the white privilege, what that man did. No, but you won't push back on none of the other Negroes, huh? You won't push back on a white man that likes to use
Bullshit.
black.
I just
No,
spent 15 minutes pushing back on handsome. I just spent 15 minutes pushing back on handsome conservative. So I do. What are you talking about?
That was pushing back, Tim. That was a whole bitch of a move. That was a pussy ass pushback. If that was pushing back. Tim, that's why we're going to go live next month in my room and we're going to see what pushing back is. Because I'm the devil. You're going to be the, what is it called?
Did you say? Did you say pushing back or throwing it back?
What? I didn't say throw it back.
Wait,
what
listen.
What are you talking about? I said push it back.
I'm just making. I'm just making sure I can hear it. You know, listen. I'm getting old.
Say you're old?
Did
you not say you're old?
I'm getting old. I'm hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing.
You won't be able with me.
I just want to make sure I can hear
You
it.
can't handle me, honey. I advise you, if you need Viagra, you better get it. Because, honey, boo, you can't fuck with me like that. You might have a heart attack. Because, honey, I'm the shit, okay? I'm young, baby. I'm not old like you say you is. That's
Do you
handle a young woman?
Do you want me to go, Mr. Marcus, and keep the MAGA hat on the whole time?
God,
keep the MAGA hat on like Mr. Marcus.
What? Bring that to my room, for real, Tim.
I'm just
Can I have
asking.
that? Go out together, okay? I will not touch it.
You.
But I'm just saying, Tim. Stop saying the black people. You know, actually technical. Black women and black men voted for. They're voting for other people. See, black people, we do vote for other people. We think about other people. Well, not like the white tea man that only votes for himself.
with no kids voting to protect the sanctity of life. There's a lot of white folks that don't have children, and they're not having. They're voting for the. There are white people that are voting.
Here, when he was 18. But you're gonna take it from us, though, right? That's what they're gonna do, though.
I'm just simply saying, white people do vote because they care about other Americans too.
Hold on. Let me tell you the bitch. If I had no teeth, Tim would have his soul taken. You're worried about the wrong shit. And you better be worried about if he comes back. If he fucks with me. Shit. What the? These motherfuckers, shit, got teeth. It's called your pyramid. And we'll get some heads pretty soon. And then he'll be saying, oh my God.
What? We're talking politics, right?
Why not?
We're done. In the comments, your son is a transgender son, then he is your daughter.
He is my son. Thank you.
Was he born male or female?
No, he's a trans man.
Okay, so he was biologically born female.
No shit.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this shit out.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
But he didn't have no gender affirming care before he was 18. Because for one, insurances won't pay for it. For two, it's illegal in the United States to do that. The only time they do gender affirming care is if there's a bad accident and they have to, if you get your face cut up, that is considered German gender affirming care. Did you know that though?
I have no reason.
Any plastic surgery is that.
I have no reason to know about this stuff. I never knew about any of this. It's not something I don't know anybody in my entire circle, in my world, that's involved in this stuff. So
Hey, let me tell you something. I lost over 200 pounds. I looked fabulous. I had gender affirming care. I had my tummy tucked. Only thing I did not have is a BBL because I got an ass because I have pork chops and collard greens, honey. I'm a woman. I got the back like that. Okay, I clap back. You feel me? And I had to lift up my boobs because I had triple D's. Okay? When you lose fatness, you lose your boobies. And lift them up.
In the comments, Infinotin or something says it's actually Iran's fault for the death of the 2 U.S. soldiers' death in Jordan because Iran killed them.
Because we do not need to be over there. And I'm not drinking, bitch, and you wish. Tim will find out what I'm drinking. But anyway, Tim, let me I know I'm throwing you under the bus.
Yeah,
I'm so sick of this shit. Yeah, I'm tired of being accused of fucking you, Tim.
Who's accusing you of this?
Then I got black maggots in my inbox telling me that you want some BBC, and I'm from the other side. What the fuck to the know? I said you white. Hell yeah, Tim.
God.
I promise you, when we see each other next month, I promise you, I will.
Alter ego.
I will. You. I will show you the shit I'll be going through in my inbox. It's funny as hell, Tim. It's funny as hell.
Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. I am fucking speechless.
At the end of the day, Tim. At the end of the day, Tim. You're so stupid.
Handsome Conservative says, tell us more about your double D's.
Double D's?
Yeah.
I don't have double D's. I have triple D's.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
I got triple D's.
Alter ego.
But I have to lift them up. That's what I said.
Alter ego is being his own DJ. In honor of my shirt, DJ Rogers.
At the end of the day, Tim. At the end of the day, Tim. At the end of the day.
Oh my God, that is funny.
That Trump did do that to the service people, though, for real. They did it to the service people. Trump did it. We wasn't even supposed to be over there, for real. For real.
So you do blame Trump, and unlike handsome conservative, you do blame him for the death of those two service
It didn't
personnel.
shut me up, bitch. And what? I'm still talking.
Here's his.
I think we'll shut up.
Trump said, "Very sad. It's a very sad thing. We hate to see it happen. They were in service of our country. Their deaths, but we're never going to let Iran get a nuclear."
To us.
Huh?
We should never be over there. We should never be over there. We should never win our asses over there. For what? Now he wants to go to Cuba. For what?
Is he still talking about Cuba being next? Because I mean, the Iran war is going so badly. I think he may have put Cuba on the back burner.
I feel okay. What? No, he's not. He's so racist, Tim. This isn't. Let me tell you something about oil and shit. This is all about racism. You know what I mean? All this was about racism. Why do you think he's not going after white countries? Why do you think he's not going after? Why do you think he's not going after telling white people to leave this country? Why is he not doing all this? Why is he fighting Muslims, Tim? Muslims.
Well,
why, Tim? Because why? He is a so-called Christian nationalist.
Because he's
doing for the racist people.
He believes the Muslims are a terroristic threat to America.
Well, the white man is actually. Let's get it. I mean, they're the ones that do the pedophiles. They're the ones that molest the kids all the damn time. They're the ones that sit in the churches. You know what I mean? Let's be real about this shit. I'm so sick of sugarcoating shit. I'm so sick of saying black on black crime. I'm so sick of all this shit. Why don't they just pull it all out there what the white man does? Why a woman would pick a bear over a fucking white man any damn day. I will never feel safe with a white man around me.
That's racist. What?
No. Why would I?
Because there are plenty of white people that have done nothing but.
I said men.
All white men are bad?
I feel shit. They could grade me. Do you realize that they're the ones at the top of the chain on that on us? Yeah. Hell, they do their own damn sisters and brothers and stuff. They're interbred.
Well, Stevie,
that's why the brains don't fucking click.
Stevie D in the comments said, "Don't worry, you're good. We don't want you anyway."
Honey, nobody wants you. I don't like Pink Winky. Like, come on, they can still see your veins, man. Like, have you seen? Don't make me throw up. But believe me, I really would never. I'm sorry. I never would be tainted. Chocolate all day, baby. Like, shit. My JJ only knows what chocolate is. JJ probably would spasm if it was a white Winky up in it.
And I see in the comments, Alter Ego says, "Did you hear about the two black teens that shot 7 of their family members in East St. Louis last week?" I think I heard a little bit about that. I didn't.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up. That's terrible.
That's fucked up.
Wow. I mean, you got some badass kids out there. That's all I can say.
And you got badass kids that peep you about school, and they white teeth and what?
I mean, look, there's been kids that have taken the lives of their family on both, in terms of racial. There have absolutely been white kids that have shot their mom and dads too. I mean, it happens. It's terrible. I don't know. It ain't a racial thing.
I don't give a damn what color a kid is. If something has to be that bad, they have to pew your own family. Something has to be that bad in the house. That's sad.
Well,
happy motherfuckers don't even know how to parent your kids. Because happy motherfuckers are your friends' kids. Like your friends. I'll never be my kids' friends. I whip my kids' asses.
Well, he also continues with the racial aspect of it. He says, "For every white crime, there is a black one to compare."
Okay, but there's always the white man is the lead of everything. The raping, molestation, pedophilia, child, corn. It's all with white men. So
Yeah,
let's not
I
do
don't.
that,
You know,
okay?
something. I hate the notion of trying to talk about crime statistics on the basis of race, because there are crimes that are predominantly done by certain races. I mean, you don't see white people doing drive-bys, for instance, as much. But you're right when you're talking about teachers. Can I get it out? Can I?
Hold on.
I didn't finish the statement. I didn't finish the statement. You just started talking. Well, the point I'm saying is there are certain crimes that are committed. Like, for instance, teachers sleeping with students, that's overwhelmingly a white crime, which is pedophilia. I mean, that is overwhelmingly done by mostly white people, sleeping with underage kids that are in their classroom or something like that. So, I mean, crime happens from all groups.
No shit. But I don't give a damn about that, you know? But it's the white team that, black on black, black on black. How about white on white? How about you having sex with your own damn daughters? How about incest? How about everything else that you guys do?
King Finn.
Come on, man. Bestiality.
Finn.
Ooh, bestiality is one
Yeah,
of
I saw that.
Oh, my God. A senator, for God's sakes, was effing his dog. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah.
Like, how can your PP fit into that? Like, are you guys that sick and desperate?
I've actually
that you guys have to fuck a DOG because nobody wants to F you guys?
I've actually seen video of bestiality shit I stumbled to on it, and it says 100% white people. I've never seen a black person involved in that.
Yeah, you got me for a good.
Yeah,
I'll take BBC all day. Good. Yeah. A dog, for God's sake? They can't even have a woman to F them?
I've seen horses too. I've seen women take on horses.
Yes, horses? Moo-moos?
It is.
Come on, man.
I'll just tell you this before I'm moving on from you. It's a cream pie like you've never imagined from a horse. I've seen a cream pie from a horse. Like, wow. I'm just telling you. I got to move it on. Last word.
Okay, Chin, before you move on, I'll be there next month. I cannot tell you the dates because I already told you what hotel
we'll talk about it outside of this. Everybody don't need to hear this. Talk to me in the comments. Talk to me in the comments. I gotta go. Tap the screen. God damn. Tap the screen. Get the lights on up to 80,000. Put it on the screen, Tim. No, you can't. I get my whole app taken down if I show you a bestiality cream pie on TikTok. This was years ago, back when Napster. Remember Napster and LimeWire? You could go on Napster and download, free music and movies. That's where I used to download, shit from Napster, download movies and stuff. And you think you're downloading Crimson Tide or Scarface, and it's actually somebody that don't put something in its place and named it that. When you were on Napster or LimeWire downloading free stuff, you really didn't know what to download because there was a lot of viruses going on back then. I took out computers like that. But yeah, I've downloaded shit and caught that kind of stuff going on, and I've seen German shepherds, go doggy, literally doggy with a blonde. I mean, I've seen that, and yeah, the cream pie from a horse is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I see in the comments somebody put a bunch of vomiting emojis, but yeah, and it's 100%. I haven't seen anybody black doing nothing like that. It's 100% white people doing that shit. So it is what it is. Tim, what are you watching? Jesus, the stuff you can get your hands on online. I mean, I've seen plenty of war videos coming out of the Ukraine. A lot of cartel stuff that comes out. There's a lot of that nasty stuff that came out of the cartel does some really sick shit to its adversaries. You can find that stuff online. I mean, it's like watching nothing but Charlie Kirk videos over and over again. It's that type of stuff. It is that gruesome. But look, I just wanted to go down the reality road and tell you that stuff does happen. Anyway, they use it to see and what do you say? Live in Tijuana. I don't get what you're saying. I love the cruise. Oh, you said they used to show it there. Okay, could be. They are really into sheep. I haven't seen that one. I heard about that in Australia though, because they have a lot of sheep over there. I did hear that people were getting frisky with those sheep. Yikes. I mean, they are soft, I suppose. You got to be sweating your ass off going up against wool, though, you would think, huh? Man, can you imagine making out with a chick and she wearing nothing but a wool sweater and shit? Like, God, she got on wool underwear. Like, that shit got to be hot and sweaty. Anyway, look at it in the comments. Dems are all for the cartel, though. Let them in right. What do you mean Dems are for the cartel? That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to assume both sides of the aisle has helped out the cartel. It ain't like drugs are hard to get when you got a Republican in power. Both sides. I mean, the cartel is pushing around billions of dollars. Both sides are looking the other way. I'm certain there's plenty of Republicans that don't made a ton of money off the drug trade and the cartel. You can feel safe with me, Gangsta Grandma. You're in good hands, really good hands, says handsome conservative. Country, what does that say? Countries pleading Trump to help them. What country is pleading for Trump to help them? I'd be curious to know. Gangsta Grandma has a dog. I heard him bark before. What are you trying to indicate, big dog? Yes, Gangsta Grandma does have a dog. I've heard it barking before behind her as well. But what are you trying to say? I'm curious. What are you trying to indicate? Wow, that's crazy that you even brought that up. That border's locked up right now. Yeah, Trump has done a really good job of Tony Rivera on the border. I agree with that. Everything Trump has done isn't bad. I just think there's more. I think that the good is outweighed by the bad. But there is some good if you want the border secure, which I don't see any problem with, requiring that a sovereign country have a secure border. I'm 100% behind that. I'm not totally behind the way he did it, though. And I don't think going around the country putting ICE in U.S. cities and deporting people from courtrooms and shit, I don't think that's got anything to do with securing a border. Some of that stuff is hate. It's just straight up hate. This person has been over here. They're trying to legally stay the right way, and you're in a courtroom deporting them. That ain't a rapist or a murderer. That ain't somebody that's poisoning the blood of the country or any of that stuff. That's just somebody you don't like because of the way they look. So some of it is hate. I'm not going to pretend like it's not. If Trump had to deal what he promised, I would be giving him higher accolades. If he just got rid of rapists and murderers, closed off the border and forced people to come here the right way, I don't see any problem with that at all. But he has eliminated a whole lot of quote unquote right ways to get in the country. So it ain't about just come here the right way. No, he's made it almost impossible for many people to come here anyway, right or wrong. I mean, he's banned whole continents. I think he banned third world countries from coming here. Tried to get a complete ban on all Muslims. So you banning a whole religion. There is no right way when you do that. So yeah, he went above and beyond, in my opinion. And I think some of it, it does have to do with, I just don't like those people. Go figure. Trump is the best. He's keeping the Islamic dangerous virus away and out of this country. I'm not aware of what Islamic virus you're talking. I don't know. The border, boring, says King Fan. MAGA really believed that immigrants were coming here to poison the blood of the nation, rape and murder everybody. So for MAGA, listen, Trump uses a word you hear often, and it works well with MAGA. That word being invasion. You know what an invasion is. You think of D-Day. You think of Normandy. We were invaded by immigrants. He's saying that Democrats now are invading us with communists. He even said to Canadian wildfires, the smoke is invading New York and Chicago and in cities on the East Coast. He uses that word a lot. It works. That's what he said. You're invading stuff. And it draws up some of the most negative images, but it works. We were invaded by immigrants. The Democrats the country is not being invaded by communism. That sounds like some shit we talked about during the Cold War. There's not even if you go to a Democratic convention, there's not many people even in a Democratic stronghold talking about communism. That's just shit they're just making up. You can go to Democrat-only events. Ain't nobody going around. Everybody ain't going around talking about let's be communists and all that. That's just some shit they making up. Anyhow, it's pretty smoky out there. Yeah, I get that. Before we wrap it up, I do want to play this clip because in regards to what Trump said, I mentioned this, played this earlier. Some of you folks are new here, but I think this really pertains to it, and it makes a lot of sense. This is the Canadian Premier of Ontario. And by the way, follow the program if you're watching us on Instagram, TikTok, Substack, or Clapper. Give your boy a sub if you're watching on YouTube. We'll be here tomorrow as well. Thank you. Twisted Sonic. Thank you. Listen to this.
I find it a shame the administration in the U.S. and Congress people writing these letters and blaming us and so on and so forth. They have a very short memory. We had the water bombers, everyone ready, going over to California. It was last year. We sent down hydro linemen down to the Carolinas in Georgia to help out. That's what neighbors do. Right? You don't get on and start threatening and criticizing because guess what? One day it's going to be your turn. And we're going to be down there without hesitation to support our neighbors. The total number of...
And that's a good point. That's the Premier of Ontario. What he's saying is, instead of threatening to punish Canada for the smoke coming from the wildfire, keep in mind when California was having its wildfires, we sent aircraft down there to scoop up water and dump on the fire and all that. We were right there helping our neighbors out. It doesn't help anybody that automatically jump to threatening Canada. But we're talking about Trump, and that's how Trump, art of the deal, my ass. That's what Trump does, is Trump gets what he wants by threatening. That's what he's done ever since coming down the golden escalator. You can't think of many great deals that Trump has made. Most of the successes that are perceived that Trump is having, it's because he threatened somebody. He's not making deals. He's telling you, do what I say or I'll kill you. That's not a deal maker. That's a bully. So it is what it is. Follow the program. I'll catch you guys mañana. I appreciate you tuning in. As always, the 78,000. I didn't get over the 100,000 hump, but we got close enough. Thank you, folks. It's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. And I'm out. You guys on YouTube, appreciate the support. Catch you tomorrow.